Mate, can you hear me? Is the volume?
Let's try that again.
Can't hear you, Apollo. Not sure what's going on.
So you should be able to hear me now.
Yeah, can you?
Yeah.
I can hear you now. I can hear you.
So here's the joke. I get 5 minutes into the screen before you lot tell me that you didn't even hear me speaking. That's crazy. Daniel, Jared, can you tell me if you can hear me, guys? Them guys let me speak for 5 minutes before they told me they couldn't even hear me.
A couple of them did say we can't hear you. I went out and
madness.
Come back in again. So
and that's my fault actually, because I normally do a sound check before I go in, but that was the one thing I didn't actually do. So shout out to everybody. Happy New Year to all of you guys. I'm really sorry I haven't said anything on social media or anything like that, simply because we had a death in the family last week and I just haven't been in the mood. To be honest, I haven't celebrated Christmas or New Year's. And I've just wanted to sort of have some peace and quiet through the whole thing. So Friday, Ipswich last week was the first time I actually got. Yeah, it was the first time I actually got out to see Arsenal win 1-0. So that was really good, and I needed that. I needed it so badly. And today, I'm hoping that this will be a nice pick me up for me, so that Arsenal can get in and win. But there are things that we needed to discuss. We just wanted to talk about the first half of the season. But before we do that, let's just see how Gary's Christmas and New Year's was. Gary, how was you, mate?
Yeah, nice and quiet. Just me, the boys, and my mum. Cooked Christmas dinner. I had a nice sober Christmas. Waking up fresh every morning on my old zero gin and tonics. Happy days, mate. Same with New Year.
And what about you, Tony? Tony, are you there, or have you gone into the background?
Yeah, I'm here. I will be swapping device very shortly because I'm not quite at home. But yeah, Christmas was lovely, very quiet, but I had a very nice one, and then a little bit raucous last night with the family getting together.
So you're not doing the walk of shame, are you?
No, I'm good.
So Happy New Year to everyone. Daniel, my cousin, shout out to you. Shout out to Jared B. Shout out to Daniel says, imagine everyone crying. We beat Ipswich. I know, bro. I know. Isn't that crazy? Look what they done. Obviously with Chelsea, look what they done. They beat Tottenham, and everyone's balling. I don't get it. I mean, just them Arsenal fans are allowed to do what they want to do, man. But just let us keep our chin high. Happy New Year to you, Nay. I hope you got my message. I got your message. Thank you very much. And we'll be talking about a nice trip around Easter following this year. So that would be good as well. As a Happy New Year to you and the family. So, guys, really, we want to have a look at the first 6 months, and let's take some context out of it, where we are, what are the issues, what are the pros and the cons. So, for me, guys, I want to say we sit at 36 points right now, 4 points fewer than what we had this time last year, which was 40 points. This is kind of where the title started slipping away from us because we lost to West Ham and lost to Fulham. After being top of the table at Christmas. So this is where we started to slide when we lost those 2 points. So for me, guys, it's a slight decline from where we was a season ago. But when I look a little bit more into that, the main reason, and this is probably the biggest reason, has been the goals. We've seen a noticeable dip in our goals and goal difference. Last year we had 41 goals by week 18, and we've got 35 goals. So we're 6 goals down on what we were last year. And in regards to the goal difference, we were plus 27, and this season we're plus 19. So that's an 8-point swing in our goal difference. Gary, what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I mean, the stats can be a bit misleading, can't they? Because obviously we had trouble with injuries
not
and red cards, and yeah, it depends how you look at it, doesn't it? You know, we're 15 seconds away from beating Man City 2-1. You know, we're 7 minutes away from beating Liverpool 2-1. Against Brighton, we go down to 10 men. We have the 2 best chances in the game after that sending off, and we couldn't. So you could be looking at it from another point of view, where a matter of sort of like 7.5 minutes, we've won two other games, and 1 more goal, we've also beat Brighton. So we could be sitting 4 points better off with 1 goal added, and we'd be sitting almost top of the league. So, you know, injuries, suspensions haven't helped us. And it's also a case of the league actually improving. Every team now, no matter if you're Ipswich at the bottom, or look at Forest. You know, so it's a case of the teams like in the league actually, and the league as a whole, improving. You know, and every game is a challenge. So as long as we're not losing games, we have to rely on Liverpool, you know, slipping up a little bit, and that's a possibility, you know. So we're still in with a fight on 4 fronts, and that's how we've got to look at it. But I do think we need to strengthen up top.
Yeah, and there's a lot of stuff going on the forum about it. Tony, any thoughts about the goals and goal difference from last season?
Yeah, I mean, it's as Gary said, you know, things could very easily be different. I think one of the things you have to consider is we had one of the most difficult starts to a season by way of fixtures, with a lot of away games, away at Tottenham, away at City. You know, so we didn't have an easy start compared to, you know, some of our other competitors. But, you know, goals to me aren't really that important so long as you're there or thereabouts. It's more about points on the board, and ultimately we dropped because of, you know, some absolutely shocking refereeing this season. We ain't the only ones to suffer from that, by the way. Lots of teams have been complaining about refereeing standards in the league, and generally I just think, you know, the standards have been poor. There's so much inconsistency around the game of football in the Premier League. Things that we don't see in some other leagues.
I think we're third on the disciplinary VAR table with 10 points dropped. By the way, 10 points dropped. Yeah, and a lot of that has got to do with the 3 red cards we had. Kicking the ball away was on 2 of them, and that was a drop to total of 4 points, which Gary already covered. So yeah, completely agree. Let me finish what I've wanted to really talk about, which is really the reasons why we are where we are. And before I even go into that, I do want to say, regardless of us being top of the table, at Christmas last year. Just to remind everybody, when the start of 2024 came, we only let in 4 goals in the first 4 months of the season and ended up with the best defense with 29 goals. And lo and behold, this season, we have the best defense. Defensively, I think where we are, we had scored, what was, that's right. Arsenal only let in, I believe it was 20. How much goals have we let in? Yes, that's right. So we only conceded 17 points, 17 goals at the back end of what started up the new year, and so far it's been just a difference of 1. So we've only really let in 1 goal in comparison to the first half of last season. So defensively, not much change, not much difference. So the defense has held well. For me, where we've really gone wrong is the disciplinary record, which Gary talked about. 3 red cards, giving up 6 points from winning positions. That's been the main thing. And then the other thing, which is probably the biggest, is the player contributions. It's been poor, if I'm honest. And it starts from Martin Odegaard missing 10 weeks. And what that did entail is it hurt the performance of Trossard and Havertz to a point, because for those games, Havertz played at the number 10 for 3 games. He's form dipped. Trossard filled in for 7 games. He's form dipped. So that whole cycle of not having Odegaard there hurt him, hurt Trossard, hurt Havertz. So it just goes to show how the instability in the team can grow. And speaking of that, Havertz has been, I think he's been fantastic. 12 goals, 22 games, 4 assists. He's done exactly everything you wanted him to do. His defend, I put up a chart on my last YouTube video, so you guys already seen it. It shows he's still number 1 in the team in tackles and duels. He's 3 in recovery behind Partey and Declan Rice. And he's a top goal scorer as well. So when you put him at the 8, he does a job. When you put him up top at the 9, he does a job. So all these people talk, and I know me and Bertram Cranky have got this thing going on about what does he bring to the team. But you only have to look. That's why I put that chart up on my last video here up on the channel. Because no matter where you put him, he's an asset to the team. And what we're not getting is production and performance from elsewhere. So Saka has chipped in with 5 goals and 10 assists in the league. But behind that, the cupboard looks bare. Behind Havertz and Saka, the cupboard looks really bare. Odegaard's only scored 1 goal this season. And guess what? That was from a penalty, which Saka gave him. Saka gave him the ball and was just, this is for your confidence, mate. And then Odegaard scored the penalty. But outside of that, he hasn't scored from open play. And 9 of his last 11 shots have been off target. 9 of Odegaard's last 11 shots have not even hit the target. On top of that, Martinelli, he scored 4 goals in 16, which is what? 1 every 4 games. Not great. That means you'll only finish up the season with 7 or 8 goals. So he's underperforming there. But I think where Martinelli has improved is he's got 3 assists. And that was something which we talked about. I've noticed his crossing has been vastly better this season. It didn't always start. First few months, you didn't really see that. But over the last few months, I would say October, November, and December, Martinelli's crossing has been much improved. And I expect his assist total to be career high this season. on top of the nays as well, Trossard, a player who I really like, but I have made an excuse for him. I did say, considering he was playing, he had 7 starts at the number 10 role, and he didn't perform well in any of them. I don't think, going back on player ratings, I don't think any of us even gave him more than a 6 in those games. He just didn't play that role really well. And he's got 3 goals and 2 assists. Very disappointing. He replaced Martinelli last season and scored 14 goals. So by all account, he should be on at least 7 or 8 goals this season, and he's only got 3. So he's really underperformed. We're not going to go too much into Jesus. He's only got 2 goals this season, but he's working on it. I think I can speak for everybody and say it's a work in progress with him because he's doing everything right at the moment. One more player that I do want to bring in is Declan Rice. Declan Rice had 8 goals, 9 assists last season. He's only got 1 goal this season, which is the same as Odegaard. So you can see, guys, in terms of Martinelli, in terms of Trossard, in terms of Odegaard, in terms of Declan Rice, there are goals that we're missing all across the field. So I think that that's where, from my, in terms of this conversation, where my stance is. So the pros, what's working, defensively sound, good rotation from the manager, academy players. We're still in a position to challenge. We're third in the Champions League behind Liverpool and Barcelona. We're League Cup semi-final, and we've only lost this season twice in the league. My cons are injuries, disciplinary record, our away form, 9-point gap behind Liverpool, although the next 2 games we play are sort of in hand for them. So we play 2 games before they play the next game, which means we could be 3 points behind them. But the last thing as well, we've had 6 draws, and half of them have come from the red cards. So that's me throwing everything on the table. Gary, you want to chime in with your opinion on that?
Yeah, no, I pretty much agree with everything that you said. I do feel sometimes we've had a lack of sort of guidance on how to break down teams just sitting there. We're all right when the teams come out and try to play against us, but trying to break down this like the low block is where we really suffer. And it's just, to me, sometimes you're just thinking, why is nobody shooting? Why are we trying to constantly walk this ball into the net when it's not working? That was our problem against Ipswich. The one time we actually played quickly, got in behind them, Havertz scores. Then after that, it was so slow and predictable, it was quite easy for Ipswich to defend. We come out the game 1-0 winners, and I don't really care about winning 5-6, 7-0. Yeah, it's great, but just get the 3 points in the bag. So that for me is a little gripe. The disciplinary record, to be perfectly honest, we see so much go on where players ain't getting sent off that it's kind of a lottery. So I can't moan too much about it, because I've seen people do far worse than what Declan Rice did and not even get a yellow card or a red card. Do you know what I mean? So that aspect of it is kind of hit and miss with me. But we're still in the chase. We're capable of going on a serious run of winning games and drawing games. Hopefully we win. If we need to win more than we draw, but if we're not losing, the pressure will come on whoever is above us, that they have to keep performing. We've been away to City, we've been away to Spurs, we've been away to Villa. So they've all got to come to us, and we've only got to go away to Liverpool, which is going to be probably one of the toughest games of the season. But if we're in with a shout, who knows what could happen? Could have some Anfield 89 vibes.
Before I go to Tony, I do want to do a quick update. If for all of you 101 forum members, I did put something in the game chat which specified exactly what happened today. There's quite a lot happening in the world in regards to 2 new outbreaks, endemics, not pandemics. One is the norovirus, the other one is HMPV, which is in China. So that's another outbreak. So this kind of happened the same time, the November, December-ish of when COVID started. So just a word of warning, guys, be diligent. That means keep your hands clean, keep your hygiene up to date. There is no vaccines for this. Hand sanitizer apparently are not working. So just keep your hygiene clean, keep washing your hands and stay diligent. And also keep your ears pinned to the news stations to see how this thing's work out. My wife's been carrying it for about 2 weeks now, and she's in quite bad shape. We've all caught something in the house, but she's the one suffering the worst. Apparently, this hit Arsenal about 3 days ago. Zoe actually told me, what are we today? We're Wednesday. So Zoe told me on Monday morning that this had come into Arsenal. So I knew that there was going to be issues today. So there is player rotations. Kai Havertz is the worst out of the bunch who is suffering from this new virus. So he's not even on the bench today. So Arsenal's team is has been riddled by what's going on here. So just a word of warning for you guys. Tony, over to you. What's your thoughts on what we've talked about in regards to the first half of the season?
I think that the indiscipline thing is a non-starter for me, because it just every single episode of indiscipline to me has been a misread situation by a referee.
Mm.
You know, there's not one. You know, the Declan Rice one is so bad. You know, there's an incident happened last year, same exact same thing, and it's the player who kicked Declan Rice who ended up getting sent off, not Declan Rice, for an innocuous tap of a ball. There's no way that's a second yellow. There's no way. You know, you just don't look at that incident and see how Declan Rice has got grievously kicked by a player.
Yeah, awful.
Who was nowhere near the ball. The player kicked sheer midair, and Declan nothing close to the ball. There was nothing to kick to. Where was he kicking the ball to?
Yeah, so, it's just awful.
You know, that aggrieved me so much, and to this day, you know, justice has never been served, and it's one of them where you go, you know, we know referees make errors, but the league has the ability to look at incidents on a week-to-week basis and make adjustments. We've seen cards rescinded.
So I want to pick you up on that, because that's a great point. In the NBA and in the NFL, the game stops. It does not carry on. They stop the game if someone in the viewing room or anybody sees anything, the game stopped. Like we see on television when they replay players getting elbowed or kicked in, and the game just carries on like nothing's happened. In other various sports like the NFL and the NBA, they do not do that. They stop the game, they call the referee, and they tell them to go over and look at it. I watched the NBA game yesterday where 6 players got ejected, including coach and staff and everything. And this is what the Premier League does not do. They just carry on playing and ignore it, even though the television has picked it up. Or the fourth official, the managers are screaming at them. They just carry on playing like nothing's happened. And that's something that they got to deal with, Tony. They got to get that right.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, it's got those kind of incidents have got to be a learning lesson. And you know what? You go and you say, right, okay, show me this incident, tell me the difference. Because if you can't explain to me the difference, then your refereeing is subject to some kind of scrutiny. Yeah? And we've had situations where, you know, things have retrospectively been changed or reviewed and said, okay, yeah, that was wrong. That shouldn't have happened. And as such, we'll put in place XY procedure in place to ensure that doesn't happen again.
So, Tony, your thoughts on the team sheet? We've got Raya in goal, Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Calafiori comes back in. Partey, Moreno, Odegaard in the middle, Wanyeri on the right, Jesus in the middle, Martinelli on the left. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I ain't going to complain, but, oh, man, that whole team sheet, when you consider the substitutes, tells you this club has run itself down to its bare minimum of players. Once again, I mean, like last year, we always used to make note when Amari Kozadubra used to be on the bench, yeah? And now we've got Kabila. And you're like, who's this kid? And
Campbell.
I'm in the dark. I don't know who this kid is. But what I do know is if Gabriel Jesus goes down in the first 5 minutes, we ain't got a striker for 80 minutes, 85 minutes. We don't have another backup striker. And yes, we could move Martinelli to that position, but is he really a striker? No, he's filling in a hole.
Yeah, and the thing we know about Martinelli is he's a less aggressive player. I don't know whether you guys have seen the Thierry Henry video last week where he says Martinelli got in position on 7 101s and only took on the defender once. So in other words, Martinelli is a passive player. And this is not by system, this is not by philosophy, this is not by design. Just the work done in the midfield and the rotation and recycling of the ball is done to put a player in a position to make moves. And then what we find is that the ball, it makes its way back to the midfield rather than going forward.
And I'll take that point and further it. If you look at how many times he takes on and wins, that's despicable. His win rate of take-ons is despicable. He literally can't get past his man. Because, okay, last week he did
I think he's actually been better on the right than he is on the left.
Yeah,
only slightly.
Once or twice in the game in midweek.
Tony, do you want to read these stats out?
Yeah, so Arsenal's first start without Saka. Martinelli versus Ipswich. 0 shots, 0 chances created, 0 crosses completed, 7 dribbles attempted, 2 dribbles completed. Now, that was the point I was saying. When he actually decides, I'm going to take my man on, his success rate is ridiculously low.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not good stats,
you
is
like
it?
look at him and you think like, are you really Brazilian? Because you don't have a single trick in you.
Yeah.
Does this guy know what a rainbow flick is? Could he even do it if he tried? Because I grew up on footballers being able to do all of that kind of stuff. JJ Okocha and Ronaldinho and Neymar and you name it. You know, have a trick in your book. You know, I'm literally at my son. When I was, training my son, I'd be like, you need a trick.
I've got the game just
I'd
underway.
show him tricks and just say, continually practice this trick because it will work. You need to have a trick. You cannot just knock the ball and run and expect that that's going to win because every defender in the world knows how to defend against the knock and run.
And remember, this is against Saka's average. That's his average. So that's what you would have had against Ipswich, regardless of the situation. This is his average. Yeah, game's kicked off for me as well, Gary. I'm on 30 seconds.
Time's fine.
Right, guys, so just to say on the bench as well, we've got Neto, Kivior, Tierney, Zinchenko, Lewis Skelly, although I know Lewis Skelly, it wasn't feeling well with the bug. Jorginho, Rice, Kabia, and Trossard. And I know Trossard's come down with the bug as well. Gerard says, I hope that they took note that Brentford start fast and they score in the first. Did you know, Gerard, that Brentford have scored more home goals, 26, than any team in the league? They lead the league in goals scored at home. They have a fantastic front four, or front three rather. And so that's what that's what they're going to be up against today. It's going to be how's Arsenal? How's the best defense? How's the best defense going to deal with the best home record defenders? That's really what it's going to be today.
I mean, you gotta be tight. You gotta show some invention. But essentially, I'm hoping that with Nwaneri. Just sort of cross from Gabriel Jesus.
Timber just let back to him, man. He's standing right there. Jesus is down on his haunches. Looks like
he's got it's Norgard.
Norgard.
Yeah, it's Norgard.
He said a little. Oh, yeah. Shouldn't be moaning about that.
Ooh. So I see we all got the black kit organised in 24. Is any of us got the blue kit?
No, I didn't. I did a Tony Cox. I listened to what he said, and the thing is, I was offered the blue kit for free. As you guys know, I normally get my my stuff sent over to me, and I was offered that for free, and I said no, and I decided actually.
What a little
for
knock
the,
from.
I decided for the guy to give me a top that Tony recommended for me, a one-piece Japanese top. So
excellent.
Yeah,
that would have been 1-0 to Brentford had it not been for Raya.
Yeah, and that's what Raya does well. He comes out for crosses. That's what he does. He's best in Europe at that.
Yeah, the cross
I do
was headed straight to Mbumo, and Raya comes out and he snuffs it out.
Martinelli's down, guys. Just holding his ankle. A good confident start as well from Wanyeri. You can see Wanyeri showing that eagerness to get onto the ball, make things happen. But let's see if we can get some more information. Looks like Martinelli's back up. Good to see Calafori back on there.
Yeah.
So while you guys are here, while you guys are on here,
nearly had it nicked by a whistle off his post.
Yeah, this front three is damn quick. So guys, what's your thoughts of Lewis Skelly replacing Thomas Partey at the 6?
No, not having it.
I'm hearing that from my guys on the inside. That's what I'm hearing.
Not having it.
2 days last week in practice, Tony, Arteta was playing him there in practice in that position.
I mean, he's a talented kid, but let's be honest. He's young. He hasn't had the experience of Partey, and you know, nobody does what Thomas Partey does except Thomas Partey.
Yeah, exactly. Gary, what's your thoughts? Miles Lewis Skelly playing at the number 6.
I'd have it all day long if Thomas Partey leaves. But if Thomas Partey's fit, Thomas Partey plays.
Look at the control.
Lewis Skelly is a 6. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So what about that passage of play where Jesus was in the box? He runs past this man, and again, I just question these Brazilians. Like the 2 Brazilians that we play in advanced positions, they don't have a trick.
But look at that. Then Martinelli just runs the ball out of play. Why is he trying to go on the outside?
Because he couldn't beat a man. He couldn't beat a man. Look.
Yeah, but there was no space to knock the ball. There was
the guy who's defending him is not the quickest guy in the world.
It's terrible. It's terrible.
But Tony's right. I mean, Jesus had ample opportunity to get a shot away.
You've got no trick.
Tony, I just sent a message to Cranky saying, "Did you see Martinelli trying to beat a man?"
Unbelievable. I mean, he has got nothing. Literally, show me some step overs. Show me something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think, and I've said this before, Martinelli, 2 seasons ago, when he was playing balls to the wall, was able to express himself. But the problem is when you put a person in a system and turn them into a robot, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Ref. Surely foul on
and it's definitely not working with Martinelli. Although I do have to say, Martinelli's defensive side has improved and his crossing's improved. I do have to say that.
Keep talking about
and that's another one. Martinelli heads the ball into the middle, and it looks like Wanyeri just fails to get on it.
I think the defender came out and blocked.
Yeah. There's some big boys in there, Gary. There's some big bully boys in there, man.
Yeah, the defender just got there in time to snuff it out.
Brentford really pressing us hard in
the opening 7.5 minutes is all Arsenal.
Yeah. Hey, Gary, Tony, notice when All the other players in the midfield get the ball, they're pressed. And as soon as the ball goes to Partey, they don't press him. because they know it's a waste of time. They know there's a foregone conclusion that he will go past you and play the ball off. So they just sit in front of Partey instead. Partey is the very definition of being press resistant. Odegaard needs a big game today. So, yeah, Gary, Tony, why is today a big problem? Why is today a big problem?
You're playing a very good team.
And the last 2 times you beat this team, Tony, who scored the winner in both games?
You're going to say Eddie Nketiah?
Kai Havertz.
Oh.
Kai Havertz.
That's where you're messing him.
Corner
Good
to
work
Arsenal.
by Wanyeri.
Now where he beats his man, gets to the byline, and the cross, the defender gets back to block the cross.
Yeah,
and is it Odegaard? No, where he will take the corner. Odegaard's just got across to have a little word.
So even there, like, and where he does a little step over before he does his run. So he stands his man up even further. You know, these are little things that make such a difference.
Corner swung to the back post. Back across. Oh, there's no one there.
Oh, man.
And it's cleared.
Gary, is that where Havertz would have...
inside the Brentford half.
Is that where you miss Havertz, Gary?
Well, I think Havertz may have been a bit closer than Saliba would have been.
Mm-hmm.
And Odegaard shoots, and it's in row F.
You know what I like? The communication, that's going nowhere. So what did I say to you guys before kickoff? I said, Odegaard, 9 of his last 11 shots have missed the target. And he kicks one that goes 40 yards into the air. He's my favorite player, man. I love him. But, bro, you're shooting right now. I don't know, man. You're shooting right now, bro. That was awful.
Yeah.
And is that because he was out for 10 weeks? I don't know, man. We're in 2025 now.
Yeah, I gotta hope that
Oh, look at that touch on Wanyeri. You take come on, man.
It's bad, Tommy. It's bad, bro. It's bad, man. What would that be?
I mean, he was out with ankle damage, wasn't he, to his left ankle?
That's right, yeah.
That could affect his shooting and everything.
So that means now, what's that? That's 10 of his last 12 shots now have missed the target.
No point in sending it long, Rare. Who's going to get that?
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Thomas Partey, though. Shoot. Oh, come on, man. Jesus, do something. Jesus is on the right wing now. Martinelli's gone through the middle.
Oh, my God. Look, Moreno just got into the game. That's the first time he's touched the ball. He's been quiet today.
He's played. And Moreno, the cross is terrible. The first touch was terrible. The cross was even worse.
Yeah, Moreno's strong.
Oh, lovely ball. Oh, Timber's hooked it into the area. Calafiori comes in from nowhere. Where did Calafiori come from? Oh,
he's inverted,
and Brentford break.
He's
but
inverted.
who's there? Thomas Partey. Tracked the run, snuck out a leg, and wins the ball back for Arsenal. Odegaard gives it away.
Brilliant.
And Brentford come again.
18, yeah, my Redskins are doing brilliantly, mate. I tell you what, I'm in jubilation.
And 1-0 Brentford. Brian Mbeumo.
Oh,
he cut inside and he fires it inside David Ryan's near post. Very bad goal to concede. But it comes from Odegaard giving the ball away, and Brentford were able to break straight away.
Wow.
Terrible pass from Odegaard. But the break, and he cuts inside, and it was such a simple finish. Raya's too far across. thinking, and he just he just turns his foot at the last moment, and it's inside the post where I can do nothing. But it's a terrible ball from Odegaard.
Yeah.
But see, when it breaks, it's literally 2 versus 3. We've got 3, they've got 2. He cuts inside Calafiore, and I mean, seeing it again, any keepers get beat by the near post.
I think Calafiore needs to be closer.
Yeah, he's got to stop that from coming in. That shot's gone in unchallenged. And obviously the rumours is that we were looking to buy him. Yeah, the rumours were that we were looking to buy him. Also, shout out to Mark Clark. He was the one that said that they would score first, and he completely got it right. Yeah. Mark Clark said that they would got it first. It's Brentford's first shot. It's a devastating counter-attack, really. Just going against the run of play. And remember, guys, they are the highest scoring home team.
If that's an Arsenal player there, Apollo, they're not doing that.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Unless it's Saka.
That's the difference.
Yeah.
That's the difference. If there's an Arsenal player in that same position, he's not going to look for the shot.
I mean, Trossard would, but yeah.
What was that, Raya?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Oh, Jesus Christ. And what is that, Martinelli? What the hell was that? Brentford come again.
So, guys, just for context, our top scorer, Havertz, has got 7.
Calafiore gets away with one
5.
on the edge of the area.
And Breno's now got 11 goals this season. Let's just put that into context. 11 goals.
But you know what it is, Apollo? It's all right saying that, but it's a different way that teams play, isn't it? We want to walk this ball into the goal. We don't want to shoot from distance. We don't
even Wissa's got 9. Even Wissa's got 9 goals. Even Wissa's got 9 goals. They when it comes to goal scoring, their front three is dangerous, man. This is the number 1 defense in the league they're playing, and they just carved them to pieces.
Oh, why couldn't you play him?
Odegaard has to have a good game. Guys, I'm on 15 minutes and 50 seconds.
Yeah, 25 seconds ahead of me.
Shoot, Jesus! Shoot! What are you doing? What the hell, man?
Gary, was that a goal?
No.
What have I just seen?
A goal.
Someone explain to me. He cuts inside. There is a clear shot at goal. And he does a Cruyff drag back and goes the other way.
Yeah, he plays with his food, Gary. He plays with his food. And because Christmas is gone, he's got plenty of food to play with.
What are you doing?
Yeah, it's madness. It's madness.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
There was a clear
Gary.
shot at the far post.
Yeah.
God, that's unbelievable.
Yeah.
How can this guy be considered a striker?
Timber is showed a yellow card. I thought that was a red, the way the referee ran over.
Yeah, it's a booking. It's a booking.
Let's have a look at it again. Is it going to go to VAR? Or do you know what? I bet VAR has a look at this.
No, it's fine. It's not. No, he didn't make any contact with his ankle. Actually, I think he stamps on his toe, and he misses the next match.
They don't care.
Yeah, he misses the next match. Remember in the last game I said to you he was on 5 yellow cards, so that's a suspension now. He misses the next game, and there it is. Most Premier League goals at home this season Brentford now 27 goals, more than any other team in the Premier League at home. That's what the problem is. They're hard to beat here, man.
So who goes to right back? Oh, not Thomas Partey.
Yeah, that's probably going to be.
Who's the next game anyway?
Hold on, because we've got a lot of cup games.
Apollo?
Hold on, yeah, because we've got a lot of cup games. So the next game is Brighton away.
Brighton
next
away.
Week. Yeah, which I was supposed to be going to, by the way, but they didn't manage to get me tickets in the end. Michael Wilton, who is my mate, the 84-year-old. He was our oldest member in the forum who passed away last summer. And that's where he was from. We got Newcastle in the semi-final of the League Cup. We got Man United in the FA Cup. We've got hear this, yeah. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh no, that's going to have to be moved. The Villa game's going to have to be moved. We're over flooded with fixtures in January. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We got 8 fixtures in January.
That is why Arsenal have to do business quickly. Because you can see from this bench.
They should have done it already, man.
Options.
The transfers been done to place.
Yeah, I've heard nothing from my side in terms of any buyers coming in. Yeah, Urian Timber's lucky there because I think he touches, he gets his toe, but it's a yellow anyway, so.
Yeah, his foot just come down on top of the boot, didn't it? But that's listen, nothing shocked me when Arsenal were involved.
Yeah, true.
You have
when it's Arsenal involved, it's a different set of rules, isn't it?
Cross comes in and that's an easy one for a goal.
I'd rather have that Ismail Cabia on than Martinelli.
Yeah, the thing is, it's hard, man, because I know the whole fan base is against Martinelli. I want to support him as much as I can, but he's just not getting it done. I mean, the question you have to ask yourself is, Gary and Tony, would he, on this form, would he be playing for Liverpool, Real Madrid, or Barcelona? That's the question you got to ask yourself.
Who, Martinelli?
Yeah.
He wouldn't even be playing for Espanyol.
That's the problem.
I say at the moment he just looks like a buyer from the Brazilian third division. That's what he looks like.
Unfortunately, that's the problem. Happy New Year to you, Vincey.
Oh, rare.
New Year's blessings, man. How you doing, buddy? How you doing, guys?
I was meaning to call you today, but I just thought I'd let me get my medication underneath me. How was your Christmas?
Christmas was all right, man. It was all right, man. I thought I'd jump on when I saw three of the guys wearing the all in kit. I thought, you know what? Let me just.
I like Cranky's. I like Cranky's kit instead.
And
Cranky's wearing the best kit.
New Year's blessings, Cranky.
Happy New Year to you, Cranky.
Same to you guys. How you doing?
Yeah.
I forgot. The app that I used to watch these games gave me the wrong time. I was going to start a show at 1 p.m. on my new channel. It gave me the wrong time. So I thought it was a 3:00 game. Somebody come on my other channel and said, "You're not watching the game." I was like, "What are you talking about?" Then I saw your link, Apollo. So maybe I should have stayed off. Actually, give him the score.
Well, the only thing you missed, we did a review at the start of this video about the first 6 months of the season, what went right, what went wrong. We looked at all the numbers, offensively, defensively. It's quite in depth, to be honest. But then we did talk about the fact that Brentford have scored more home goals than any team this season.
Yeah.
And what did they do? Come in. Yeah, Jesus just got nutted off. See, that would never happen to Havertz, you know. That would never happen to Havertz.
The great Havertz not starting today.
No, he's got the bug. You know, I sent the news about the virus going on at the moment. It's an endemic as far as we know. It's not a pandemic, but it's quite dangerous. There's 2 of them One's blowing out in America, the other in China. The HMPV one is in China, and it's a stomach infection, which erodes the throat and the lungs, and that's what's causing problems. My wife has it, and she's been very poorly over the last 2 weeks. But a lot of people have gone down with it.
How do you even know you've got it? What do they do? Blood test?
Yeah.
So you go in with, like, I don't know, what would you call it? Fever type symptoms?
Yeah, it's a normal type symptoms mostly. And the difference with this one, because it's a stomach infection,
but
is
flu doesn't generally require a blood test.
No, because it's a stomach infection. This one obviously causes a lot of other issues like vomiting and all of that stuff. It's a different thing in terms of the signs, like influenza. It's different than that. That's well defended there. Martinelli clears.
So Brentford doing a real good job of breaking the press. We're not pressing, right? But they're spreading the field really wide to give them angles to beat the press. And we're not playing what I call suicide press, which is every man to a, as I'm saying, Rasta, every man to a man. And you mark them up closely. We're allowing our two center half to stay deeper and not marking one-on-one. So they're going to break the press if they play smart.
The thing about it is, Cranky, and I mentioned this to the other guys, is the last two games we won here.
Jesus?
The last two games we won here, guess who scored the winning goal?
The last two games, Osaka? I can't recall.
No, we won 1-0 here last season and 1-0 before that. It was Kai Havertz. He was a guy that got us over the line against Brentford in both games.
Why do you say Saka when I know you're a Havertz fan? You're going to say Havertz. Why did I ever say Saka?
They're going to miss him. They're going to miss him, man. On my last video, I put his pie chart up there to show he's number one in the team in the tackles, number one in duels, 3 in recoveries, top scorer, and second in assists. So you're getting
why we play Lewis Kelly? Why we play Lewis Kelly today versus Calafiori?
Because he's got the bug as well. He's on the bench.
We haven't even got Havertz up top.
He's got the bug as well.
Could come again.
So you probably didn't see the communication I sent out, Cranky, but this bug has been going around from Monday morning. Arsenal. So the team is in a bit.
Odegaard is absolutely clobbered after passing the ball, and I think it's Norgard picks up a yellow card.
Yeah.
Do you know what? I was watching your introduction, you guys.
What great play and ball retention from Ethan there.
So I see Gary still hasn't paid his internet bill, huh? It's been happening for a while now.
Yeah, go on, Vincey.
Yeah, you know, the analysis Tony was giving earlier on about some of the skill sets and frustrations with Martinelli was shown obviously in the first, say, 5 minutes of the game, 5-10 minutes. But what's frustrating me in this game is when you beat the man and you have an opportunity to shoot, we're not shooting, so we're faking, and then we're drawing back. And then we've had good situations that we could have had shots on goal inside of the 18-yard box, both Jesus, both Martinelli, and we're doing that fake, and you're losing the opportunity. And I just think it's just a frustration that us fans have. Come Partey. Oh my gosh, it's a frustration.
Oh, come on, Partey! Oh,
it's really killing the team in those situations. We have opportunities, we have half chances, and we're just not being intentful.
Yeah, you can see here, set piece from Arsenal, cross comes in. They're offside. He's offside. He's offside. I think Partey's offside. He miskicks it as well. Yeah. I think he's offside. I think Partey's offside in that situation. Jack, shout out to you. Says Jesus and Calafiori looking really sloppy today. Yeah, I mean, Calafiori hasn't played in a while, has he? Because Lewis Kelly's been fitting in. And Jesus had them 2 games where he just blew. He literally closed down the internet. Here comes Brentford again.
The Brentford player shoots, he goes through Rare's gloves, it on the line, and Rare just gets there to dip it round.
Oh my God. I'd like to see a replay of that. Well played, Wanyeri. Look for your man. Look for your man.
That must have been close.
Yeah, yeah. Garfield says...
I don't think the whole ball was over the line, but I reckon I'm going to say a part of it was.
Garfield says we're a one-man team. Well, actually, Garfield, you're slightly right.
And it's 1-1.
There you go. There you go.
Talk us through it. Talk us through it.
Martinelli. Oh, shoot. Yes, Campbell, Jesus.
Let's make sure it's not offside.
It's Thomas Partey's shot.
It's Jesus with a rebounded header. Jesus with a rebounded header.
And you see what in that passage of play, again, Martinelli had that ball played through, and he didn't need to have a first touch, and he took a first touch and lost it. It's just when you're in the 18-yard box, you can hit first time. If you know you get your angles right, you can hit first time.
Guys, we needed that before half time, man. 29 minutes gone, and it's Arsenal 1, Brentford 1. It's a fantastic goal,
Jesus
really.
is definitely onside.
Yeah, shot by Partey there.
And
Red
that is
counts.
Yep. Thomas Partey with the shot. And this is the thing. First of all, what does the shot? The goal comes from a shot. Arsenal don't shoot enough from outside the box. Who shoots outside the box? Thomas Partey.
Thomas Partey.
What else don't Arsenal do enough? They don't go in for rebounds. Opportunists. Yeah? Jesus does what a true striker's supposed to do. Pick up those scraps. Get around the box. Get those rebounds. Those second chances. Two things in this goal that Arsenal don't do very well. And that's what they need to do more of. Really, really good goal there. And that is about effort.
So my favorite part of that whole sequence is the ball played by Gabriel between the two defenders to get Martinelli in and goal.
Yeah.
That started a whole scrambling situation, resulting in Partey's shot and Jesus' goal. So we need more of those passes to play the defense because they're going to be deep for a lot of this game.
And he could have shot there, Bertram, couldn't he?
By the way, guys,
he could have shot.
By the way, guys, the VAR was a check for a handball. It was a check.
Yeah, for Martinelli, but I looked at that. It wasn't handball. Yeah.
Well, that goal saved my fantasy because, boy, I got Jesus and Martinelli in my team. So
let's hope Raya get his composure because he looks a little bit challenged so far.
So let's go again, eh?
Okay, so guys, in our forum, in our panelist forum, Mark Clark was the one who said Arsenal was going to win 2-1. He said that the Brentford would score first, and then he said Jesus would equalize. And so everything that's happening is happening exactly how. So I've just said to Mark to get on the stream so that he can take over and the five of us can go home. They really did need that goal before half time.
Yeah, we just need to settle because I think we've been erratic with our passing, and obviously a lot of that is to do with the speed Brentford have been defending. They really do press really well.
Yeah,
they move the ball well. They they're a good, well drilled outfit. You look at the space that they leave. It's never there's not big gaping areas of pitch.
There's a run there to Moreno. I've been watching him. And then knock forward came back. So I've been watching Moreno for the last few minutes. He's been making some really intelligent runs behind the line, and the ball's not coming into him. And that was the first time that he makes another run between the two centre backs,
halfway inside his own half,
and he gets the ball in.
Oh. But it went out near the corner flag.
Yeah. So those are the things that players are doing, like Moreno, which, quite frankly, doesn't get rewarded. All of that running beyond the lines, trying to stretch the defense, get those triangles going. He's doing all of it. He's been doing that for the whole first half. But we're not finding him. Thomas Partey, man, in the middle.
What are you doing there?
Also, guys, I want to put your hands together for a little prayer and blessing to Emerson. Emerson, we're praying for you, bro. A happy new year to you. I hope everything is going well, and I hope you'll be able to leave hospital in the next few days. We are, you're in our prayers. God bless, speedy recovery, my friend.
Yes, man. Love all.
Yeah, Emerson. Hope you recover quickly, as the policy indicated.
Yeah, man.
Best. All the best.
Just keep strong, and 2025 is going to be a blessed year for you, man.
Unlucky.
Yeah, they're just showing this replay on where Raya had the Hawkeye review, and it looks like the ball comes in at pace, and Raya was probably in two minds of whether to try and catch it, which obviously he couldn't. The ball was too hot, or to try and save it, and it looks like he was caught in two minds there, and that's why the ball sort of slipped through him.
Raya's still enjoying New Year's someplace, New Year's Eve someplace, because the first goal is close. It shouldn't be scoring from that location. Frankly, you got to make sure your near post is covered. That shouldn't happen, even though he was unsighted. And then the second one, ball went straight to him. I don't care how hard you kick it.
Yeah, guys, I think we got a big up. Cam just saying, what is it about Jesus,
Well
Jesus
played, Odegaard.
and Christmas?
Well played. Now switch it. Oh, Marino, why you slow it down?
Odegaard,
I mean, it's
to
good.
Get out of there.
It's good that
good passage of play there, Gary.
It's good that Jesus has found some goals because having waited as long as we waited. We all know the deficiencies in his game.
I was looking at this the other day, Tony. Do you know what the striking difference is? Jesus came into this team as one of our best creators. He hasn't had an assist in 12 months. Not a single assist in 39 games.
Who's that?
Jesus. He came into the team as like one of the best creators. And he's not been able to even have an assist in a year, in 12 months.
I think Jesus needs continuity of play to be effective.
Oh, Campbell.
I think some players... why is Lewis Kelly warming up? I thought he said he was out with a bug. He's not out.
Yeah, he had a bug. Yeah, on Monday, he was one of the players that I told had suffering from the bug.
I don't think it's that he's basically not 100%, Bertram.
Yeah, he's not 100%. So from what I got, Timber's not 100%, Lewis Kelly's not 100%, and Trossard is not 100%. Those are the three guys on here that have been suffering badly. Havertz was so bad that he couldn't even make the team sheet today. Apparently, this morning he was throwing up all over the place. So he just, it's bad, man. And listen, I've had it with my wife for the last 2 weeks.
Wow.
She's in a state at the moment.
Was she in a doghouse?
She's in a state at the moment, bro. It's crazy right now.
We
Corner
send
to
all
Brentford.
our love to Lisa and hope she gets better soon.
Will do.
Yep.
Has any one of us been to the new Brentford Stadium yet?
Nah.
I used to work literally on the corner of the old stadium.
Oh yeah, remember T. Oh yeah.
Unfortunately, guys, a lot of our games are going to be like this. Without Saka, we got to find some form on there. Still really looking for an adept
that's
game.
a lovely ball.
It's
a lovely ball.
That's
Lovely
a great
from
ball by
Calafiore,
Jesus.
but there's nobody there to even try to head it in.
Yeah.
Timber could have just laid.
Do you know why, Gary? Jesus was standing next to him on the right-hand side.
He's not a striker. That's what it is.
When one goes out, someone has to go in.
Yeah.
if one comes out, one has to go in.
Did you see Timber trying to get Martinelli through there? If that goes through, he's in on goal.
Now, Martinelli and Jesus are interchanging, which they probably haven't done previously as much as they should.
The thing
so
is,
Jesus would not always be in the middle.
The thing is, Cranky, if both of those players normally play well when they play in sync together. And if there's one thing we know is the amount of games they've played in symbiosis has been very limited, especially in terms of the injury record over the last year or so. So maybe that might be something that will kickstart Martinelli and kickstart Jesus, the fact that they play together so well. On the bench, you can see Trossard, Declan Rice. As I said, Trossard as well was quite affected badly by the bug.
I'll tell you what you may have just missed there. The cross that went in.
I think Lewis Skelly may have been called back.
I think if you guys didn't notice, Martinelli made an excellent move for Jesus to come in on the back stick for a cross, and Jesus didn't even read it. And when Martinelli made the move, he took two players with him.
Yeah.
He physically moved two players to create a space behind, but Jesus wasn't clever enough to think, move into that space. And then the cross ended up going
well
nowhere.
Done, Timber. Go on now, Wery. Go on now, Wery.
Cam says we need more chaos. Haven't been particularly deadly in attack since we lost Sanchez. Well, let's remember we had Giroud and Walcott up front with him, and that was total chaos. And Ozil was playing behind them with Ramsey and Cazorla. So that was just like, that was an incredible attacking front line. We haven't been anywhere near that performance since then.
Jesus' movement is quite shocking, to be honest.
Yeah, I agree.
I mean, Calafiori plays the ball down the line. It goes past Martinelli, but Jesus is about 5 yards away from Martinelli. He doesn't even put in a run to try to get the ball.
Yeah. It's just the movement, man. Remember that, Cranky? 2017. Sanchez, 31 goals. Walcott, 19 goals. Giroud, 16 goals. Ozil, 12 goals. Ramsey, 10 goals.
Yeah, but we couldn't defend. We couldn't defend.
Yeah, we had no spine.
Now we have defenders. We don't.
Yeah, what you're looking at is like generational players like that. They don't come up very often, but like literally, you know, how often do you get a situation where you can have all that talent on the pitch at the same time? You know, the midfield of Perez, Vieira, Gilberto, and Lumber, you know, with Henry and Bergkamp up front. Like,
here comes Brentford.
That's the stuff dreams are made of.
This stuff is cleared. And the first thing, what was the first thing Arteta did when he came in? He built a spine right through the team. Centre backs, goalkeeper, Thomas Partey, boom, built that spine. Declan Rice. The spine of the team is the strength of the team right now.
Is that the spine? Hold up to this corner.
Corner to Brentford.
Brentford's got some big boys, haven't they, man?
Yeah.
So have we, man. It's a good matchup. They're a really good set-piece team. We're a really good set-piece team. I think they're third in the league in set pieces. Ooh, clear your lines, boys.
There. Did you see that?
Right, let me just go and get some. Guys, I'm not even on coconut water. I'm on hot honey, lemon, turmeric, and ginger. Trying to help the cough, man. I see Cranky look like he got that fruit punch there. I know he don't drink alcohol as well.
No, we're not into the alcohol business. No.
Yeah, I given it up as well, bro.
Stay away from that.
No more Mount Gay Bayesian rum. Yeah, that Mount. Hey, Vincey, the Mount Gay Bayesian rum, Appletons, all them thing there. Don't just. I see people bringing me bottles for Christmas. See the bottle there?
just put it in cake, man. Just mix it in cake, man. You're good.
I think Gary's even told me he's given up alcohol. Is that right, Gary?
6 years in March.
Yeah, Gary's giving it up as well. Isn't that funny?
It'll be six years in March for me.
Hey, Tony, you see what growing old does to you, man?
I haven't quite given up yet, but I've definitely.
Good ball, Calafiori. Good ball. That's Jesus. Come on,
Jesus just caught one in the face there.
But that's where I like Jesus. Look at him right on the end of the line there, anchoring the line. Referee ain't going to give him nothing for that. Oh, and Gabriel's gone down. Oh, he's calling him for Gabriel. Okay. He let that one go with Jesus, but Gabriel went down with a clear elbow. Is this going to VAR? Let's have a look. Gary, you're ahead of me. What's going on?
That's nothing.
It's a swinging arm, but it's not
inadvertent swing. Inadvertent.
Yeah, that's nothing. He's just literally trying to break away from him.
Oh my God!
Oh, Garfield says he's on the Zambuca.
He's got a bit of claret coming from his mouth.
Garfield says he's on the Zambuca.
Yeah, that's nothing. We've all held one of them.
Being a United fan, you have to be on the Zambuca, don't
you? Hey, listen, man. Pure love going out to Garfield, man. Suffering with Man United. And look, I've been there for 20 years with the Washington Redskins, man. I know how that feels, bro. I know how that feels.
We have no empathy or sympathy for Man U fans. Long may it continue.
And listen, listen, this year, no lie, in September, I said it on this channel. I said, Vincey, Tony Cox, you're going to the Super Bowl. And then Tua went out. And that just capitulated the whole thing. I don't think he's been quite the same since he's been back, quite honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we sad to say.
Garfield, I have no idea what you're saying, Garfield. You mean you won titles? We haven't. You got to be more specific on that. We have won titles, okay? Let's be clear about what that entails. You have won 2 trophies in the last couple of years, but you, how would I put a nice word? You suck. That's the best I can describe it as. And long may it continue. We have won Premier League title. We're not Tottenham. We have won Premier League titles. More than 1, 2. And you haven't won one since what? 2010? Wasn't the last time Man U won when Ferguson was here? You haven't won one since.
Garfield's killing me. Cam says, Garfield, behave, bro. We actually like you being here.
Well, let's hope Man U and Man City get relegated this year. Man City because of points, and Man U because of just being poor. Oh, what a play by Odegaard.
Oh, what a play, Odegaard. Good. You know who we've missed? We've missed Miles Lewis-Skelly.
No, I'm not having you saying he's better than California in that respect, man. I'm not having that.
It's just the style of play.
It's a style of play.
I think he plays inverted better. He plays inverted better.
He does. 18 says, I liked when Garfield was on the channel. Yeah, when we get the Friday Premier League show back, I'm going to get Garfield to come on to represent Man United. So,
where in the championship? What do you mean?
No, our Friday night Premier League show, Cranky.
We don't have any championship clubs on this channel. Only Premier League.
Hey, listen, United are 6 points off the drop zone, man. So they got work to do.
Exactly.
Bro. They got work to do, man.
You know, Garfield doesn't want any piece of that action. You know, he doesn't want to be embarrassed week after week. Come on now, let's not do that. You know, I've got a friend who's on the United View, and he's getting pelters week in and week out. It's horrible. It's like Expressions. You know, when you watch Expressions every week, you just see that the man's soul gets slowly disappearing every week.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah, he's going for 6-0 Liverpool tomorrow. Let me check out the
fixtures. It's out. Come on, Odegaard. Come on.
Why are you going back to the same side? With the...
Yeah, it is pure banter,
not
bro.
Smart
Bro,
move.
we love the banter, man. We love the banter. We love the banter, bro.
Oh,
unlucky. Come on.
Tap it back. What are you doing? Oh. Marino, all you had to do was lay it back first time, Marino. Someone had a shooting opportunity.
Garfield said, "Bring me on the show. I will make you all cry hard." Yeah, we'll do that on Friday Premier League show, mate.
We'll bring you on for the next 2 games in the relegation zone. We'll bring you on. You're going where you play.
We got United coming up in the FA Cup, haven't we?
Yeah. We have. Actually, I might have him on for that stream. I might ask him to take play, but
you remember? I remember being
Bring
on Bertram's show. I've been with Bertram on his show recently, watching Man United, and he has somebody who was saying that what's the right back's name?
Oh,
Ahmad.
Yeah. The
not Ahmad.
No. It's not Ahmad. It's I'll tell you.
Mazraoui was saying Mazraoui is better than...
No, I thought it was Delete.
He was saying Mazraoui was
No, it's not
Delete.
Delete. It's
like, what are you watching?
Oh. Yeah. Garfield says it could be anyone. Nah, bro, listen, you know what? I'm gonna put my hand up and eat the biggest humble pie, because when we did the Premier League predictions, I was the one that predicted United to come fourth. So I'm looking like Muggins on that one, Gary.
From bottom.
Yeah, but I bet you didn't have
was that full from bottom, you said, though, didn't you?
Outside of your top four.
Yeah, no, it was Cranky that said Chelsea. Cranky was the only one that said Chelsea top four. Watch out for, he kept saying it every week. Watch out for Chelsea. Watch out for Chelsea.
Well, they're not playing a top 4 team now, but because Newcastle coming like a team on fire, actually.
Yeah, but nobody can keep that form up for a whole season, right? So at some point, this is the thing. Liverpool and Chelsea both never had their patches. Chelsea's going through it now. At some point, Liverpool just cannot continue.
But Liverpool just have so many players doing limited injuries. And Konate is back. It's one thing to have players who are irreplaceable. They just have so many interchangeable players. I mean, they have Jota on the bench. They have Nunes on the bench, who can get into most teams, even though Nunes missed a lot of goals. So their 5 offensive players are playing well. They can afford to lose 1 or 2, maybe not Salah. No, they're in a good spot. It's gonna be hard. We don't have prolific scorers up front.
So, guys, I'll get your opinions on what halftime looks like at the moment. And Arsenal have had much of the ball. Brentford have arguably had the better chances. I think they could have gone and scored 2 goals, but they led when Mbeumo shot against a run of play, which doesn't normally happen against Arsenal. Put them up 1-0. And then, obviously, it was Keane's Potter's shot, which went through Raya's fingers, leaving it to scramble that off the line. But then Jesus' header coming off Partey's shot, which is his 6th goal in his last 4 games. 6th goal in his last 4 games as per Arsenal level. So Arsenal put themselves really in a good position to push on and win this in the second half. Tony, what's your thoughts? If you can hold things back.
I'm just pulling the stats together. If you move on, and I'll come back to you.
All right, Gary, you go and then work your way around, guys. I'm just going to go and get a drink.
I'll take it, Tom, while you're doing the stats thing.
Thank you, buddy.
Yeah, so for me, the first half, we have had a couple of opportunities to shoot at goal. Jesus has had a couple. Martin has had 1 or 2. And we just don't shoot a goal, and I don't understand it. How do you score a goal if you don't take a shot at goal? Normally, even the goal we scored, right? So normally, Thomas Partey would have recycled that ball and kept hold of it, passed it back, passed it sideways. But he took the shot, the keeper saves, and Jesus is there to head in the rebound. I don't know who it was that said the famous saying, if you don't shoot, you don't score. But it's as true as that every day ends in a Y. If you don't shoot the ball, you can't score a goal. And I was literally jumping out my chair when Jesus, he cut inside, he done it right. The goal was open. And instead of taking a shot, he done a little Cruyff turn and went back out the way that he just turned in. And to me, I don't understand that.
Yeah, it was a shocking move.
We Brentford have broken our press far too easily. You know, Raya makes an error. Lucky enough, he gets back and he recovers to slap the ball off the line. We could have been 2 or 3-1 down here. You know, before we'd even had a shot. It's not good enough. No, we can't afford to drop any more points. We need to get going and we need to start winning games. What do you reckon, Vincey?
Yeah, I mean, everything you said is right. You know, yes, we have the advantage of looking at it from above, but we can see that the angles that they make their runs and they receive the balls, they have some beautiful opportunities if they are aware of where they are to shoot. And this Cruyff turning, this checking back, this passing across, it's cost us because we've been in good situations in that 18-yard box. And it just made me ask myself the question, if that was in training, would they do that if they were going to say next goal wins? And if you kind of enacted the injury time scenario, would you not be taking shots, or would you be continually passing this ball around? Because in that 18-yard box, we've got players who can, on a turn, have a great shot. And you can see what Partey did. On a turn, he had a shot which forced a goal. So it goes back to your point. If you don't shoot, you don't score. And we've got players that just need to be intentional in what they're doing inside of the box, and will make good use of the chances that we actually and positions we create. Far too easy again, cutting through in midfield. And you've got to give credit to Brentford because they've made some intelligent passing on the counter. Unfortunately for us, it's resulted in a goal. But for me, I'm a little bit concerned with my star Italian at left back. I like him as a player, but I just think today he's been a little bit sloppy. And I just would like the ball to be moved a little bit quicker. So when we are attacking and we've got advantages, we maintain that as opposed to be going back into our half to recycle the ball. Go for it.
So Tony's just put up some. You want to do the stats, Tone, or do you want me to go through them?
You go through that
something
one.
else. Yeah. So stats of the first half. Obviously, Brentford 1, Arsenal 1. Expected goals for Brentford is 0.16. Expected goals for Arsenal is 0.69. Brentford have had 4 shots compared to Arsenal's 9. Both teams have had 2 on target. This is the telling stat for me because this stat I find bewildering in most games because we've had 29 touches inside Brentford's box. And that's only led to 9 shots, and only 2 of them shots have been on target. Brentford have had 6 touches from inside our box. 29 touches. We've had over almost 5 times the amount of touches in the Brentford box than they've had in ours, and it's only 1-1. That tells you that we don't shoot enough from the chances that we create or the opportunities we create, because not everything's a chance. But sometimes you have to make your own chance. Possession 41% to Brentford, 59% to Arsenal. Brentford have had 2 corners to Arsenal's 1, and both teams have committed 3 fouls.
Brilliant. Thank you very much, Gary.
Probably me.
So, yeah, I'll just enhance on some of those stats. That inside the box, slightly different on BBC site, 33-6, but you're absolutely right. That kind of dominance where you've got that many touches in the box, I kind of understand that it's more difficult to score in a box where you're having a lot of touches, but they also at the same time have a lot of players in the box at the same time as you. Because typically I can see, like in highlights I'm watching now, Arsenal have 4 players in the box with 2 on the outside. Brentford have 7 players in the box. Yeah. So we got 4 against 7. and obviously, as I said, 2 on the outside. You know, it's gonna be difficult, especially teams who are playing low block football. You know, we mustn't give anything for them inside to pick up. So you do have to be a little bit more subtle about how you're gonna cut through that. And obviously, without Arsenal having those decisive, game-changing players at that top end of the field, it's going to be a struggle. I mean, I watched Salah. The last 10 goals he scored, he literally just he has a little window of opportunity and he takes it. I mean, you know, he scored a goal on when was it, Friday or Thursday that they played, and the window of opportunity was so small, you know, that you had to.
Yeah, I don't even think he created half a yard for himself. It was just like literally a slightest bit of opportunity, and he just bang, the ball went, and then it went
through the legs.
Like literally, he's the only player doing that. Yeah, and it's that kind of skill that when Apollo's talking about how prolific Alexis Sanchez is, those kind of players don't come along often. And when you get
but you can turn an opportunity, Tony, into a goal scoring opportunity if you shoot the ball. If you're not shooting, you ain't gonna score, are you? I mean, I remember once I saw Frank Lampard, right, score a goal where the ball he shot, it hit 3 players and went in.
Yeah. But
I'll take them anywhere they come. I don't care. I don't care.
I agree, Gary. I agree. But there's something fundamentally wrong with a striker who has that opportunity, that window of opportunity, and decides to turn out. Fundamentally, in his brain, I don't shoot when the opportunity comes. Something is wrong. You ain't a striker, bro.
I was about to say.
Job.
I was about to say you can't use the striker word in that analogy because
because simply a striker gets half a yard opportunity, he's taking it. He's going for it. I'd rather you shoot and the shot gets blocked than you didn't shoot at all.
I always say to my boys, the under 13s, I always say, why didn't you shoot there? Because even if you miss, I prefer you to miss than turn out and lose the ball. It makes no sense. Or try to take a player on and lose the ball. It makes no sense. If you have an opportunity, you have to shoot at goal.
Yeah.
So would you say, based on the strikers that we have had over the years, and you've seen this, and it's not just, we're just thinking, obviously, because we've got Arteta as a manager now, but do you actually think this is a coaching thing at Arsenal? Or is it just 100%. An individual decision players...
It's a coaching thing. You get too cool. I see it week in, week out, right, at under 13 football. Every team wants to play like Man City. Every team wants to score this goal, and they get too caught up in trying to play out from the back. You know, and you've got to be at a certain standard to be able to do that. And sometimes you have to earn the right to do that. But it's a coaching thing. You know, for me, I want to get the ball forward. Yeah, there's times when we play, there's times when we don't. There's times when I want to get the ball forward and I want my forwards to be having a shot at goal if they have the opportunity. That's how you score goals. So against all these low block teams, we are constantly trying to walk the ball into the net. Like I said, for that goal, Partey shot, normally he wouldn't have shot there. No. He would have taken the touch, turned out, passed it back, and we would have gone again. He takes the shot. The keeper makes a hash of it, to be honest.
You do know most of
and James, you said, look at the rebound.
You know most of Thomas Partey's goals come from outside of the edge of the area anyway. Yeah. So he is going to have
something that we need to do more. We need to be shooting more. Deflections.
He is the one player that feels confident to be able to go, I'm going to have a crack. Cranky, there's a comment down below for you, buddy. Do you want to have a talk to us about that one?
Yeah, no, I'm not. Look, Havertz is a very good footballer, but my forwards have to be dynamic. They can run at 5 miles an hour. They have to be able to beat a man. They have to be able to get behind the defense. And when you play for a very good team like Arsenal, like Havertz said, you're going to get a chance to score. That's how it is. You're going to dominate the ball, get opportunities, and you score if you're in the right place. But you won't be to create anything like Isak does from nothing, right? Jesus may not have the shot from outside the box, but he's very creative. His problem is he wants to play like Harry Kane, but he's not Harry Kane, where Harry Kane wants to go deep, get the ball. He wants to touch the ball. He's a Brazilian. You have to be on the ball, else you're not really Brazilian. You can't just sit up there in isolation and wait like a Haaland does and try to score. That's the problem he runs into. But he has to learn that as a forward, you have to be patient and you have to let the game come to you versus going to the game. I am not a big Havertz fan, so I cannot sit here and be a hypocrite saying, as Apollo is saying, he scores this many goals. You should score if you play for Arsenal, you're playing up front, you're going to get chances. It's not about me having my favorites. Well, yeah, the favorites who I think are good footballers. Yeah, if I'm can be accused of that, of course. But they have to be good footballers. Jesus is a good footballer. He doesn't score enough. Now, Tony talked about before about shots getting blocked. One of the reasons why Jesus doesn't score enough is when he goes to show you block, it's a Brazil. I gotta get by you to score. Then the space closed down because this is not championship football. This is not League One. This is the Premier League. People are physical. They're quick. They're gonna close down spaces pretty quick. He has to learn how to change that. Here's the problem in this game, people, which we haven't talked about. On the right side of the field, most teams overcompensate because of the Saka, Odegaard, Timber, and to a lesser extent, Havertz in that area, right? They overcompensate. They have to put more men over there, especially the players of skill. On the left side, there's more opportunities to create space and to get in on goal. That's why Lewis Kelly's a better option than Calafiori, because Lewis Kelly can pass the ball between the lines to get in Martinelli or to get in my number 8. Calafiori doesn't do that really well. You watch the last game Lewis Kelly played, splitting the defense with that pass from deep. And he also is a midfielder by trade in terms of how he operates. So he has more control on the ball. He can go by a man. He can make that final pass. We ain't getting that from Calafiori. What we do poor on the left side is this. We don't play the quick 1-2. And the defender make a decision. Either I go with a man or I try to double team the person with the ball. We don't do that quick enough. So in essence, it's always get closed down quickly. We have to do a better job when people are in the low block about how we break them down. And as you guys are rightly saying, the shot from outside the box, and I watch Isak play quite a bit of late. I mean, he scores all sort of goals. Headers, right foot, left foot, beat people, stay wide. Defense have to change. He's quick. We don't have that forward. I think Jesus has a lot of capability, but I'm not. Don't give me Havertz. I'm sorry. I don't care if he score 100 goals. He's not my forward.
I think it's striking a balance because clearly Havertz gives you work rate that Jesus doesn't.
No, that's not true. Havertz don't give more work rate than Jesus does.
He does.
Havertz. No, not work rate. No, he doesn't.
No. Tony, you can't talk to Cranky in that context because he only looking at one side of the ball.
Jesus on the field. Yeah? Jesus works hard.
To look it up.
You can ask Vincey because Vincey talks about defense and attack. When you talk to Cranky, only talking about attack.
Jesus put enough shift. Watch Jesus. He plays enough.
I'm not saying he doesn't work, Cranky. I'm just saying he doesn't do it as much as.
Of course.
If you're running 5 miles an hour versus 10 miles an hour, Tony, if you run 5 miles an hour versus 10, you're gonna get more tired running 10 miles an hour.
Jesus isn't fast, bro.
He's faster than average by good distance.
Oh, come on.
There's no competition in terms of quickness.
Does it make a difference when you're both slow?
No, if I'm sprinting versus I'm playing like Ozil. No, he's faster than Havertz. Come on, that's not even clear. That's not even close. I don't agree with that. He's faster than Havertz.
What is that by Brian and Bueno? What was that?
I don't understand what's going on there.
Should not that be a yellow card?
Yeah, he's just let him off. He's let him go.
He grabbed Gabriel's face as he sort of jumped past him. He grabbed Gabriel around the face.
Also, guys, what's also interesting about how we play and how Man City plays, the players have been taught, unless you're clear in the decision, don't make the decision because we have to retain the ball. Okay, if I don't lose the ball, I can't lose the game. That's what I'm seeing when we play. So we're not taking as much risk as we now probably should, apart from Odegaard, because if you take risks, you may have more chance of losing the ball.
Yeah, but shooting from outside the box is a problem. We got a comment here. Jared says too slow, too many back passes, too many long passes to the GP, not enough shots on goal. And that's the reason why we scored, because Thomas Partey had a shot on goal from outside the area.
And
the other thing is,
that's what I said when you was just during the break. I was saying if you don't score, you don't. If you don't shoot, you don't score. It's that simple. It's not it's an old time adage, but it's true.
Cam says Ethan Wanyeri started well, but went on somewhat missing in the half. We were on. Apollo warned us. I've been talking about this for the last month. I hear a lot of people say start Wanyeri, start. And I've been saying no. Arteta is doing well with his playing time, and he should keep on doing it. The situation with Saka has forced us into a point where we have to play him. So it's a little bit. Can
I touch upon that? I'm sorry, guys.
Swim moment with Wanyeri.
You should never blame a winger for not getting balls.
Rough with the smooth. So when he struggles like this, in some respect, we're going to have to give him that so that he can start to pick things up. It's going to happen. You're going to struggle a little bit at this level because of the system, quite frankly. And so look, I've looked at his heat map in this game, and he's actually created 2 chances. Let me see if I can put it up here.
Apollo, you cannot blame a winger for not getting balls. What are we talking about here?
They've done all right.
If you're playing right wing, you can't blame for not getting balls.
You can see that his areas are picking up the ball quite well. What he's not doing is obviously getting into attacking areas well. He's only had 27 touches, which is the least of any Arsenal player in that half. But he has created 2 chances. So you've got to give this guy a time. I think Tony mentioned it. I think Tony mentioned it in terms of
there. We've always got someone at the back post. That's a tap-in.
It is. Yeah, it is. I think Tony mentioned it in terms of like you have to ease him in. You've got to give him the experience and the time and the minutes so he can pick things up. It's just going to be a learning curve for Wanyeri. That's what I've been saying.
This is none with Wanyeri. Odegaard, Timber, Jesus. Only got to get him into the game. He's playing wide. People, wingers can't be blamed for not getting balls. You're not giving them the balls then.
No, I don't agree with that. So we blame Martinelli for not getting involved.
And it's 2-1 Arsenal.
We can't do the same for Wanyeri. That's a brilliant start to the second half. And that's Moreno.
And it's Mikel Merino.
And what did I say to you in the first half, Gary? Who was the guy that I said was making all the runs into the box but was never getting his just dues? It was Moreno.
Frankie, I know you're disappointed. Another set piece goal.
And it was actually Jesus' shot that the keeper couldn't hold.
I'm not disappointed. I'm happy he scored, but I want us to look. Here's the problem they run into: Everton game, right? Ipswich game. Brilliant. You have to be able to break people down in open play. You're a better team than the other team, right? Brilliant. And if you play against Everton, who is brilliant in set piece like we are, you're going to struggle if you can't break them down from open play.
That is fantastic. And that's really the game plan. Shout out to Mark Clark. He's the one that said
the keeper.
What's that, Gary?
Lost the punch. I'm just talking over the goal again. It was from Ranieri's corner. The keeper come to punch and he muffed it. Jesus' shot hits the defender and it falls right to Merino, who slams it into the net.
So shout out to Saliba, who's the one that does the Ben White shielding the goalkeeper from coming out and collecting that. And not only does that, but I think it actually hits. I think the first shot actually hits Saliba and falls into the path of Moreno. I have to see it again, but I think Saliba actually got in the way of the first shot.
It hit the Brentford defender.
It hit the defender, okay.
But the keeper actually the keeper got to the ball, but he missed the punch.
That's brilliant, man.
The keeper owned that goal.
Yeah, I agree.
Muffed it. So Apollo says we blame Martinelli for what an airy situation. Doing the analogy, I don't agree with that, Apollo. We blame Martinelli for his poor decision making and not beating his man when he gets the ball. If he doesn't get the ball, it's not his fault. Because you're depending upon your
Marino, come on, bro.
Unfortunately, I think you're spot on. Bertram, unfortunately, that passage of play gave an opportunity for Wanyeri.
Moreno,
he didn't get it. But you're right. You're right. You can't be faulted with what you said.
He muffed it. Moreno muffed that pass. It was 8 yards out. He was trying to square up Odegaard, and he flicks the ball, and it just comes off his boot. I'm loving this patches of play between Timber and Wanyeri. They're starting to warm up now. You can see them right here. They're just starting to get used to each other's patterns. And that's all it really is.
Did you see that tackle from Saliba? I mean, talk about dominating.
Tony, where you at? I'm at 51.50.
No,
I'm
Jesus.
saying 25 seconds behind you, bruv.
52.
But I just saw the Brian and Braymo is have nothing off of Saliba. Absolutely nothing.
Jesus,
You know, Brentford is a decent
And
team,
it's
you know, but they're
3-1
not even playing.
Arsenal. 3-1 Arsenal against.
Come
Wow.
on.
When Yeri
That's
with the
what I'm
cross,
talking about.
and he comes out to Gabriel Martinelli.
Wow,
and he slams
that
it
is
home,
brilliant.
right-footed into the far
We're
corner.
just a better team. We're just a better team.
Great
that
strike.
is brilliant.
I mean, if you're playing Brentford, who's a very good counter-attacking team, and they
That's
can't get a
fantastic.
breather, it says a lot about your two centre halves and your defense in general.
Yeah.
Fantasy
again,
football. Fantasy
So,
They tried to
Cranky, you
play
were
them
saying
well,
just
but
before that
Again,
that
it
they
comes
are a
from
good
when
team,
Yeri
and they
should have
are.
been-
You
Yeah,
don't
I'm
score-
surprised a team that has so decent a team is so being so dominated. That's why we should be 9 points behind Liverpool. Frankly, I'm gonna say 9 because of the game they have in hand. Because I don't think Everton beating them. So
you gotta be happy with that a goal from open play, Cranky.
yeah, it's a cross. It's a cross still, but it's a good goal from open play. It's a cross.
How have we got to the stage where we're being so overcritical, guys? Man,
No, it's
man.
not overcritical. Look,
how did
Apollo.
we
If
get
you want to
there?
Apollo, what you have to do in life, Apollo, is compare yourself to your competition. I'm looking at Liverpool, breaking people down through the middle of the park, left, right, middle, just going through them like butter, like knife through butter. We're as good as Liverpool are. When they played us at our place, we were a better team. Apart from when Timber got injured and had to come off of Louis Kelly, we're the better team.
They couldn't beat us last year either.
So why the ref is waiting for something? What's he waiting for? Like there's VAR something.
I think there's
Oh, it's a goal.
Checking
Okay.
for a
I was just
foul.
going to say exactly the same thing.
Maybe
No,
checking for
that's-
handball because the ball bounced up, but no, it's a goal. It's 3.
Yeah.
I think Brentford made a mistake scoring first. They got upset.
2 quick fire
It's a great
goals from
strike
Arsenal.
from Martinelli. God give
Sometimes
credit
it
to
takes
the
it
boy.
to kick your ass into gear. But
That's brilliant. That's
Say that
brilliant,
again,
that is.
Gary.
I said sometimes
What a
it takes
pass.
something to kick your ass into gear. What a
Yeah.
ball from Odegaard.
Beautiful
What a ball from Odegaard. Go on, Martin. Take him on now, Martinelli. Take him on. That's
Good,
it.
good idea, Martinelli. Not a bad idea.
So crap.
It's got to
Oh,
get to the far post. The
all the
ball has to
hard
get to the far post. Has to get to the
That's
far
a-
post.
That's a brilliant ball from Odegaard,
But
though,
that's
man.
got to go
Yeah.
hard and low.
Well, hard and low, or you
That's
get
gotta
it
go
to the
hard
far
and low,
post. You have to
Frank.
get to the far post, Gary. I think he's got to get to the far post. Sterling does that really well, by the way.
Yeah, he
Try to
does.
just
he
lift it
does.
up to the far post so somebody can run into it. Got to beat the keeper at the near post.
Who's this guy Sterling that you talk about?
Well, let's call him Raz. That's what I try to call him Raz. He said
You guys
Raz.
leave me in such a bad position. I can't even comment, man.
I'm a
You guys
Sterling.
leave me-
I'm a Sterling supporter. I don't care what anybody says. I'm
Yeah,
a Sterling
no,
supporter.
Cranky has been Sterling hard.
I'm a Sterling supporter, and you can't get blamed for not playing. You can't
You
go
guys
put
leave
yourself
me
on the
in
field.
such a bad situation and get. I talked to my cousin Paige, who he's married to, by the way, and she watches some of the streams, not all of them. She watches a few, and I can't say anything, man. I try to be objective, but I can't because it's family, and I get cuss out. I don't have the luxury of what you guys go through at some point. I like him. I've always liked him as a player. I have said last season he played in the worst Chelsea
And
squad.
here come
He
Brentford.
played 19 games. He scored 8 goals and still had 6 assists. He was still productive in that bottom.
I remember last year he played a game
season.
against Kyle Walker and had Kyle Walker on toast when he was still decent.
Yeah. So I don't understand why. I mean, he's injured now, fair enough, but he's still an asset to the team.
Yeah, I mean, he's not injured. The injury wasn't as bad as we initially thought, so we'll see what happens if he gets any game time. But he picked the wrong time to be injured too, because
I know.
you don't get injured, you got to pick a different time, Sterling.
I know, man.
That's always the way it goes, though, isn't it?
It is.
You know what? It's just a pleasure that I have the pleasure of saying pleasure twice to watch Thomas Partey play football. You can't play CDM. I used to play CDM. You can't play CDM any better. The man is just gracefully covered the space well. He sees 3 and 4 pass on every play. Why are you passing back the ball, Marino? Why is Marino shooting the ball to the goal? What is he doing?
Yeah, I know. But,
what is he doing a while ago?
What was that, Cranky?
Yeah, I know.
I mean, he passed the ball back
He's trying
first
to
and
hit
put the
it
ball to the
first
goal.
time, and it just come off the wrong part of his foot.
Well, I thought he was passing it the way he played it.
Look, guys, he had the defender right in front of him, and I thought he did. I don't think he could have done anything with that. But really, you've got to put it on your other foot.
You
put it on
control
your
the
left.
ball at Apollo.
Yeah.
You move it away from the defender. You shoot the goal.
That's right.
That's what he
Yes,
needs
that's
to do.
right. Yeah, but
Somebody's got a yellow card
striker's
from
instinct.
Arsenal. Actually, somebody got a yellow card.
That's a
It's Tyler
striker's
Fury.
instinct, and he's not a striker.
Well,
So
it's obvious.
I agree with you 100%.
I think Havertz would have moved that away.
Somebody's just
Havertz would have moved that away.
Vincey, what's your
Why did
thoughts? You've
Calafiori
been
get
quiet
booked?
for a
All
while.
right, take off Calafiori. Say he had him. Sorry, Apollo. Take off Calafiori. He has a yellow card. We can't afford 10 men on the field.
Yeah, we can't. Vincey, what's your thoughts?
Yeah, but why did he get booked? For what reason?
He held his jersey.
That touch by Marino.
I don't know what he was doing. I thought he was playing a 1-2, frankly, which wasn't there.
It's like the kiss of death.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's.
I think he
I'm
just tried
looking
to
and
hit his
thinking.
first time, and it just come off the wrong part of his foot.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still trying to work out what type of a player he is, that he's going to improve us in the areas where we actually needed a player in that situation. He's done well tonight, but yeah, I'm still.
Dare I say it?
Drew's still up to me.
Dare I say it? But have we not been able to replace Granit Xhaka?
No.
Yeah,
No, we haven't replaced Xhaka. We have not replaced Xhaka. We have not replaced Xhaka.
I think you're fair to pose that question because, yeah.
By the way, Tony, Xhaka made Martinelli look good.
Oh, definitely.
Xhaka made Martinelli look good, and he would also ping the ball across the field to find Saka or somebody's in on the right hand side. He did that really well. And frankly, he's playing at Leverkusen tells you that he was a good player. He went there, captained them. They won their first season. He had the most touches, I think, in Europe when he played last year, didn't he?
So I just want to answer Vincey's question. Vincey talked about what's the strengths of Moreno. We did a whole video, me and Gary, in the summer when we were talking about his strengths and weaknesses when we came in. Also, Tony was on that video. And it's just a sheer fact that he's the most dominant duels player in Europe. What does that mean to us? Mikel's system is based on the system revolves around ball possession and short passes, high pressing, and he fits right into that
montage. Every round. Come on, Martin. Take him on. Cut in. Oh, you're lame as a finish, Jesus. Oh, left foot, mate, left foot.
Gary's
on your left foot,
nuts, bro. I love it, man. That's what happens when you got the lead time, you know, cranky.
What happened?
Now I have the same time Gary does, but it's funny.
First of all, Martin, he can't beat his man.
Yeah.
Then he plays it to Jesus. You've got to hit that with your left foot.
No. He couldn't. By the time his left foot bought the ball being touched out, he couldn't hit his left foot, Gary. Trust me.
Cranky, sometimes when we have a lead man who sees the goals beforehand, sometimes a person will just go, and that was it. And that's just like, hold on, where's the emotion? Where's the emotion?
No, he couldn't hit him with his left foot, Gary. If he lifted his left foot up, the defender tore it off his foot. He couldn't lift his left foot.
Mad. Yeah, that's the only top I haven't bought.
Emerson's like just void of emotion.
I look at Vincey's top and the player who I'm reminded of Sol Campbell. I just look at Vincey's top and the first person that comes to mind is Sol Campbell. Oh, man. Sol Campbell for me, man.
Send it.
Send it.
He's offside. I don't like, offside is a turnover, people. I don't think people realize in football, offside is like giving the ball away.
Yeah, I agree. It's a turnover in American football.
You should not be offside. I mean, you can be offside if you, but in that play, you shouldn't be offside there.
It's like basketball. It just you're giving the ball back to the other team. Tottenham Newcastle is on. Coming in. The TNT have got quite a few games on. Bertram, are you watching this on Peacock?
No, it's showing on USA, so that's why it's up to it's same time as Gary and I've changed my system from streaming to regular cable because streaming is also slower. Right, so I changed up my whole system because I hate being behind Gary. So I changed my system.
So Tony, you know what my problem was with my IPTV? I emailed them and they gave me a different MAC link. So the links I was using were all deleted. That's why I couldn't get anything for love or money, couldn't get anything going. So I've got it on my telly, on my Xbox, on my phone, on my tablet. So I have to change the whole lot.
You know when you get that extreme code,
Yeah.
can you use it on multiple devices?
That's what I do. Yeah. That's why.
Okay.
Why do you? Yeah. That's what. I've got it on my phone, tablet, Xbox, my LG 4K TV, OLED in the front room. I've got it on everything, bro.
Oh wow! I really didn't know.
Great set play by Brentford.
The only difference, Tony, is that you can only watch it on one device unless you buy
and Martinelli
2 licenses.
almost got you on goal. Wow.
Oh.
So Gary, that's a set play, Gary. So Martinelli almost got you on goal.
There, to be honest.
So what we're doing is that when Brentford push up all their players on the corners and set pieces, when Brentford push up all their players on set pieces, we're running off Martinelli, which we should have done against City, by the way. I've said this before. We're running off Martinelli as soon as we win the ball, and Brentford is left wanting. If there was a better throw, he'd be.
You know what? Touch great point, Frankie. Because if you watch Liverpool, when you watch Liverpool, they've always got Salah upfield for the long ball from Trent or whoever plays the long ball. Always got Salah on one side, and sometimes even Luis Diaz on the other side. They've always got at least one or two up top.
And especially if you're playing a team with low block, Gary.
I think you need to bring everybody back to the
Yeah, if you're playing a team with low block guys, that's your one chance in that game, in that situation, to catch them right upfield. If they're going for a corner.
Guys, you just saw Wanyeri on the right there. He had 2 defenders in front of him, but he did have 15 yards of space where he could have beat the man. Instead, he decides to cut it in, and the pot cross was really poor and goes out for a goal kick. And
but what I enjoyed about that same sequence, Apollo, was he was able to get the cross in without the defender touching the ball.
Agreed.
Martinelli runs into dark holes. Whereas what Ethan was able to show was actually, I'll show you one way, I'll come back the other way, and then I'll come right through the middle of the two of you.
Yeah, but in Martinelli's defense,
I would not have you blaspheming against Martinelli, Tony.
Has improved this season, though, Tony. I think Martinelli's crosses have.
The Marino just taken one in the face.
I will not have Tony here giving Martinelli a hard time. He's looking for change on the ground. Leave him alone. There's money on the ground he's looking for. That's why he's always looking down. Don't leave him alone.
Martinelli,
stop beating him about that.
Oh my God, Martinelli! Wait till you see this guy. Come on, man.
Wild clearance there by Gabriel.
Yeah, but hold on. Watch what Martinelli does in about 5 seconds, Apollo.
What, he misses the header? He misjudges the header. Is that what you're talking about?
How do you not head that ball? How do you not head that ball? You're in the Premier League, mate. How is that ball bouncing over your head like that? How have you misjudged it so badly?
Now Brentford has to attack us, right? They're down, so we should have more chances going forward. That low block should be going first of the game.
Now. They've got nothing to lose now,
and they look like they are. They have
free
got
kick
a
to
lot
Brentford.
Of players that...
let me get my. So I think Cranky missed the beginning of the stream. So let's have a look.
It was just you and Gary at the start.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, so Cranky, what I talked about is in terms of the pros and cons, and the pros so far this season: defensively sound, good rotation, academy players playing, still in position to challenge, third in the Champions League behind Liverpool and Barca, League Cup semi-final, and we've only lost 2 games. And then in terms of the cons, I put injuries, disciplinary, away form, 9 points behind Liverpool, 6 draws, 3 red cards.
Why isn't in your con inability to score frequently from open play, especially against tough opposition?
Yeah, because that's not a thing.
It's not a thing. It is a thing. It is a thing. 40% of your goal from set piece, it is a thing.
Prove it to me. How? How is it a thing?
I don't know. Everton, Fulham. You want me to keep naming them?
No. The games you're talking about. Do you remember we had 3 games where we didn't score from open field? What you fail to understand is the 2 games we played in the Champions League where we won 5-1 against Sporting and 3-0.
Yeah, against teams who want to play football.
Only one of those the goals was a set piece.
So but teams who want to play deep, we struggle.
Yeah, but I'm just talking about if we was in court and you brought that case to me, it would be thrown out. Because
I would be
at the same time, we scored 7 goals from open play in 8 in the Champions League in the same time.
teams who want to play deep, everybody struggles against. Yeah, we've seen it.
Not Liverpool. Oh, brilliant by Nwaneri.
A well-played Nwaneri. Brilliant.
No, he's got to let the ball go the first time, though. Play the ball to Odegaard the first time. Why are you dribbling still, Nwaneri? Play the ball to Odegaard. He's in stride.
That's what
he made a brilliant play and then gave the ball away.
He's got to learn that.
Yeah, he's got to give Odegaard the ball and then move to get it back.
Hold on. Cranky, didn't Liverpool struggle to get past Southampton 2-1? And then it took a set piece for them to win, which they copied straight off us.
Didn't they struggle against Ipswich?
Oh, yeah, they did. They struggled against them as well. This is a Premier League, man. I keep telling you guys, if you don't have any humbleness in your game, you get this.
So I have a question for you. So if we're that brilliant from open play, right? If we're that brilliant from open play, this is what I'm hearing from the panel. Because here's the point going to be. Because Apollo, why do most Arsenal fans are crying out for a striker? If we're that brilliant, they wouldn't be crying for it. They may say it's a want, not a need.
Your first mistake is saying if Arsenal are that brilliant. Who said Arsenal was brilliant?
No, I'm saying they're brilliant. But we're brilliant. Look. We're brilliant. We're brilliant. Guys, slow down here. We're brilliant defensively. We're brilliant in the midfield. Up front, we're lacking.
Yes, because we're not brilliant up front.
Yes, exactly.
We can't be brilliant.
We can't be brilliant.
Be very careful with that comment. We're second in the Premier League. We're second in the Premier League. We have lost 2 games all season in the Premier League, right?
Yeah.
2 games.
Yeah.
And we're training a team that had lost 1 game. We're doing something right. And without even scoring a lot of goals.
Look, there's context to everything. The first thing is that over the last 3 seasons, we have neglected the amount of funds that have gone towards that position, number one.
Yes, agreed.
Number 2, if you look at it before that, Aubameyang, Lacazette, and Pepe were the most expensive striking force in the Premier League. So we've gone from one extent to the other. And then the third thing about that is
hold that thought.
It's just
very
important.
One
last one. You can carry on after I finish this one. We have broken and scored more goals in franchise history in back-to-back years as well, without a striker.
Right.
Go on.
So my point is this, because we're talking about our team and the most expensive force in our history, right? In terms of offensively, those 3 players weren't as effective as we got rid of all 3 of them. So that means they weren't effective. So we may have bought poorly.
Well, no,
we can't complain about. We said we have the best centre-half pairing in football. Period. One could debate Konate and Van Dijk, but we're the best centre-half pairing in football. We have a brilliant right back in Timber, who to me is world class. Even though people say he needs more time to show it, I think he is. Our left back, we got to work that out. Whether it's Calafiori, is it Lewis Kelly, is it even Tierney, who's on his way out? Right. So defensively, we are extremely solid. Our midfield can compete with any midfield in the world. Partey, Odegaard, you want to pick Rice or Merino, I don't really care which one you choose. Brilliant midfield. Saka is a brilliant player. So we have 2 positions, the left wing and the center forward. That's it. So why can't say we're not brilliant? Because people saying Saka is world class. So how can, if 9 out of 11, and Raya is a very good goalkeeper. So if 9 out of 11 is very, very good.
You could also say we're lacking in the left 10, where that Saka, that Granit Xhaka position.
Well, it depends on you look at it, right? Do you say is Rice good enough to play out there? Is that the question, or is he just a 6? Okay,
he's a 6. Clearly his speciality is 6.
Yeah, but
Rice is still learning the position, isn't he? He's still learning.
That's what I'm saying.
Tony, did we buy a want versus a need? Tony, did we buy a want versus a need? Did we buy a want versus a need?
Well, we needed it because clearly Thomas Partey was not being able to complete a season.
But was Jorginho serviceable enough to play there for? Was Jorginho serviceable enough to play there for 30% of the games, for example?
No, he wasn't good enough.
Look at Thomas Partey just coming and blow that up.
I can't agree with you, Bertram, when you say that we have a brilliant midfield, because there are areas. If you think the midfield needs to be interchangeable against the world's best, I think we struggle.
But who's the world's best midfield? What do you say?
No, when I'm saying if you're going to put our midfield up against Real Madrid's midfield, we'd have to be perfect all the time, because they can interchange and compensate for us. Tony's just alluded to the fact where that Granit Xhaka position, we haven't really
What's a ball from Odegaard?
improved there. So I think we're good. We're above good in areas, but I don't think we're brilliant, because a brilliant midfield
Apollo
would open up.
If that ball was played to Eddie, you know Eddie's shooting from there, right?
Yeah, I agree. Great ball from Odegaard.
Eddie's letting that run across him, and he's shooting.
Exactly.
Man, look at that. The whole team's in the box, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Come out. It's ridiculous.
Literally, they're defending with 8 men in the box.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hopefully, Mark should be coming on shortly. I've just sent him the link. He's just seen it.
This reminds me of the Redskins trying to stop Saquon Barkley with an 8-man front, just clogging everything up.
That's ridiculous.
That's why the quarterback needs to get in play. To pass the ball.
Yeah, Cranky, why the hell did you get rid of Saquon Barkley? I don't care how much money he costs
because
you.
in today's football, they believe the running back is not important, right? Running back is not important. It's all about the quarterback. That's why they gave Jones the money and then they cut Jones.
Look at what he's been doing. The man's on target for 2,000 yards.
I keep telling people that leadership is important in life. If you don't have good leaders and people with strategy and vision, and that's what the Giants lack, they give Jones the money and now they got rid of Jones.
Yeah, that's the problem, dude. Yeah. Shoot.
Shout out to Tony Cox, who's met
unlucky
Saquon Barkley.
Odegaard. That would have been an assist of the year.
Knows him very well.
Now, he's supposed to be a very good human being. Forget about his football exploits. People like him as a person, actually. And, you know, his great uncle was a big time boxer.
Boxer, right?
Yeah.
Iron
Barkley, the Blade.
Yeah.
The Blade.
So the backup runner back that you've got now, Bertram, you're not not confident with him.
Making
we have a backup team, and Vincey. Hey, Vincey, we have a backup team.
Fair play.
You need to get rid of all of them, including the whole front office. To get rid of all of them.
Tony, what happened to your cousin? Is he still with he's in the practice squad there?
No, he got released at the early season. He's now in the XFL playing for San Antonio Brahmas.
Okay.
Brentford making 4 changes. They're taking off Wissa. Really? Wow. Is it a long day for Wissa?
He's been quiet. He's been very quiet.
Well, the team has been quiet.
Marshaled by. I notice every time the ball goes near him, Saliba just reads it. Boom, gets the ball.
Yeah.
He doesn't even get the ball because Saliba reads the pass before it gets to him.
But I've been told if you're doing a lot of tackling, you're not playing good defense.
Yeah,
and Saliba is showing that.
Right. Van Dijk doesn't do a lot of tackles because he always just reads the ball.
Yep.
I think it's time to get a bit of Declan Rice on.
Yeah, I would agree. I'd also bring Skelly on for Calafiori as well.
Yeah.
If he's well enough.
Claim David Raya.
I like how David Raya just pushed to the ground. Get out of the way. I agree with that play. Get out of the way.
Mark Luck's trying to get in.
When he's been poor today, I don't think he's been poor. I think he's done all right.
No, he hasn't been poor, but he's made some decisions where he could have made better decisions. But I don't think he's been poor. Not at all.
Like I said, guys, just be patient with him because
his crosses led to the second and third goal.
Yeah, exactly. I said this before.
No, he hasn't
when
been
Declan
poor.
Rice and Moreno come in and say the system is hard to learn and it takes some time to pick up, how do you think a 17-year-old views that? It's not easy for a 17-year-old to pick up a system that veteran players, a Spanish World Cup winning international, and the best defensive
but Apollo, I'm gonna check you there. Shouldn't the academy be employing that system, and therefore he should know it better than those players?
Yeah, but
right?
If you have a
system of playing your club, the academy should have a system.
You're talking about Baby League. You're talking about Baby League.
Yeah, but it's still the same system.
But it's a big man's league you're dealing with. It's a big man's league you're dealing with. You're going to have less time on the ball. You're going to have less time on the ball, quicker decision and thought process. It's a different thing, bro.
Yeah, but I don't think he's had a poor game. I think, look, I think these are valuable minutes he's getting.
Oh yeah,
we're making
Right,
3
so
changes,
triple
by the way.
substitution for Arsenal.
Yep.
We've got Calafiore for Miles Lewis-Skelly.
Yeah, just as I said.
Ranieri for Trossard.
Mhm.
And who was the other one coming on? Didn't come remember. And Declan
Declan
Rice
Rice.
for
Yeah.
Mikel Merino, I believe.
So he's got to be careful because the two guys we know there are still feeling a little bit under the weather from this bug. But 13 minutes, I guess, is not going to be. He probably just wants them to run it out.
I think you guys both, two things can be true at the same time. And Tony's right. He's valuable minutes for Ranieri. I think the biggest challenge tonight for him is, Brentford's a decent team. So, it's yes, he's had some good patches. He's struggled in areas, but I think 77 minutes is worthy tonight. But the opponent is a tough one. I think Tony was saying at the start, if anything happened to any of our players, would be it's a challenge for him starting this game. So he's done well for 77 minutes.
Well, I think Vince is a good point, which is Mbueno has been playing very good football. It's a difficult cover, right? So Calafiore is probably more physical, and the manager may have thought about having a more physical player against Nwaneri, but I think the kid has done well. I don't think he's been poor.
Cranky, you know what was making me and Gary laugh the other day? They had Lewis Skelly marking. Oh, which game was this? He was marking the I'm gonna have to go back and have a look at this.
Who's the guy with the tall guy?
That's what I'm trying to think
Southampton,
of.
weren't it?
Yeah.
It's the tall guy from Southampton. He's about 7 foot four.
And set pieces, right? Which made no sense.
It made no sense.
That made no sense. No sense.
Yeah.
5'5",
I think what it was, I think he was
6'4" on set
first
pieces.
blocker.
No, Gary was marking him, Gary. I'm not giving that excuse. I watched the game. He was no blocker. He was marking him. He was following him around. He was no blocker. I wish he was the first blocker. I didn't understand that at all, actually.
Yeah, because it is more about blocking than marking.
So that's Gabriel and Saliba's fault to me. Your center half should be looking at and saying, you know what, guys, XYZ. You mark him. I'll take him. Lewis, got to go mark somebody your size.
Yeah. But I think there's clearly some kind of strategy in the way that they defended, because maybe the threat.
Well, Miles Lewis-Skelly, his ball retention is absolutely amazing.
That's why he can play the number 6. That's why he's part of his replacement.
Now he does like what Saka does the same thing. They shield the ball with their body.
I said this the other day to Tony.
Right.
Yeah. At that stature, you need to be able to shield the ball well.
He could be half on the floor, but he still controls that ball at his foot.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's basic, so isn't it? The baller, first touch.
So, guys, shout out Amari Hutchinson, Arsenal Academy player, decided to leave Arsenal and go to Chelsea. Chelsea didn't want him because they wanted to spend 1.3 billion on players. Always a disaster, really. So he should have kept his ass at Arsenal. Anyway, he goes to Ipswich and scores the winning goal when
Did they make a 20 million profit on him? He went there for free, right? They made 20 million on him, didn't they?
Yeah.
Then they got 20 million.
We had 30% on him. We had 30% on his.
Oh, we did?
Okay. Yeah.
Well, you know, he went to Jamaica and then decided to go back to England. Came and played for us and then changed his mind.
That hurt me, you know. That hurt me. Whose fault was that, though?
It's both parties' fault.
So what did he play for Jamaica, Bertram? Was that
friendlies? So he didn't get capped. He played friendlies. He didn't get capped. He played 2 games against Trinidad. Yeah, he didn't get capped.
Yeah.
He didn't want to get capped. Actually, he was trying to straddle the fence.
So Bertram, can I ask, how far do Jamaica go to scouting talent? They
do a poor job of scouting talent. The talent is scouted by the talent is scouted by YouTubers and others. The JFF is in a conundrum. They don't really want overseas born players who are eligible to play. They mainly want the local players so they can sell them on for a profit, even though it's clubs who do that. The problem they run into is some of the local players are not good enough. So they have this conundrum whereby I don't think the organization have a recruiting strategy. I think there are a lot of fans or individuals who know all the players with Jamaica heritage and try to find ways to pursue them and then bring them to the JFF, and then they have no choice but to try to engage them. But McLaren is changing that because he wants to go to the World Cup, so he's trying to get.
He wants to go to the World Cup, yeah. So if a couple of guys, agents have told me, Colin said to me that he's been calling players in the UK. But I did want to say that's what I said to you in Manners Man a year. Is that a goal?
No, it was close. It was close. We survived. We survived.
I did say that to you guys a year ago because that's how we feel. That's how the players in the UK feel, that they don't feel valued. They don't feel like Jamaica wants them, so they don't want to go. Well,
the UK don't want them. Jamaica don't want them. I guess they're nomads. Nobody wants them.
The way that some of the players are treated by England, I mean, obviously it's a very professional outfit, but you know, there's so many players who get that one cap, and then
Tony's a perfect example. Jamaica chased Tony for a while. He got his little caps in the Euro, and now he'll probably never play for England again, right? Yeah. But some players prefer that, right? You know, they may not have the affiliate. Yeah, some players prefer that.
Ain't gonna get a look in for how long now?
Who?
Morgan Gibbs White.
He's capped.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
He got one cap, and he ain't had a look in since.
Yeah, but Lee Carsley did a brilliant job of capping as many players as he could when he came in. Gomez, he capped all of them. Morgan Rogers, he kept as many as he could to close that argument down. Yeah. There are other players like Cameron Archer and others who Jamaica should pursue, but let's see if they're going to pursue them.
Yeah.
But McLaren, when he first came in, talked about
get Jed Spence in, don't they?
Then I think he has been approached, but says focus on his club career. I think it is.
Yeah, no, it was me who approached him.
Oh, you did?
It was me.
Well, we need everyone to approach somebody to find out if they're interested. Because Spencer's a good player, actually.
Yeah.
When we first saw him against us, Nottingham Forest, he did Nottingham Forest in the FA Cup, and then Conte put him out on Siberia, someplace, and now he's back. He's playing well. But they're Jamaican people who have a database on all the players, Tony. Every single one of them.
So what's happening with Mason Greenwood?
His mom needs to sign a release form to allow him to get his papers, and she hasn't signed it, basically. That's the issue. Yeah, that's the whole issue.
Come on, let me drive. Why are you slowing down, man? What?
No, he needs to come back. He doesn't need to drive. I don't agree. He should have turned back a long time ago. That's his poor decision making, Gary. He should have turned back a long time ago.
Martinelli looking up though. Did you see him dribbling and looking up?
Apollo, he should stop the ball a while ago. Apollo, and turn it back inside. He went in the corner looking for money and can't find any, and then he lost the ball.
No, but his head wasn't planted in the grass though. His head wasn't planted in the grass.
If it was, he would have seen somebody.
It wasn't planted. He was looking.
But that's his decision making, right? That's his decision making.
Yeah.
It's 4 people ahead of me. I can't beat off 4 of them unless I'm Messi. And you turn the ball back.
See, that's.
By the way, I'm doing a short. You guys know what to do. I'm doing a short 4 o'clock on Is Morality Dead? I'm doing different shows on my Balance View channel, not on Cranky Live.
4 o'clock. What time is that?
That's 9 o'clock your time.
9 o'clock. Okay.
Is Morality Dead? I'm doing on my not on Cranky Live though. I'm doing on Balance View.
Wow, that's a big question, man.
Yeah.
I see you got a nice shiny new studio there, Cranky.
Yeah, it's 2025. You gotta come different.
It's nice.
Thank you.
Big thumbs up.
2025.
Is that why we're gonna struggle in the January transfer to buy players? Spend all the money.
Spend all the money on Cranky's studio.
All the money went on Cranky's home studio, man.
We couldn't get Gore correct. Gore correct is taken. We couldn't get him actually. Sporting not letting him go until the summer. I thought we wanted Sesko though, not Gore correct. I thought we wanted Sesko.
Cranky, can I just tell the G is silent. It's your correct.
I know. Apollo told me that, but we create names for people. Apollo told me that we create names for people. We're not going to silent no G.
Listen. 3 years in, there's still people who can't get Jesus' name right. Sky Sports even put the microphone into his face and said, "How do you pronounce it?" And he said Jesus, and people still get it wrong.
No. It's Jesus is wrong. because people have been living way before Jesus calling it Jesus. So why are you going to change the name for your purpose?
Listen, I remember when I went on AFTV and I was talking about Thomas Rosicky, and Robbie said to me, he goes, "You're the only fan that can pronounce the man's name correctly."
The state of Jesus' shirt. Wow.
That's nuts. See, now that wouldn't be allowed.
Yeah, wait. So it's not Jesus. It's not Jesus. It's Jesus. So it's a Spanish pronunciation.
No, it's Jesus.
So why is it Jesus versus Jesus? If you're Portuguese, wouldn't you say Jesus?
In Spanish,
no, but he's not Portuguese. No, yeah.
Okay.
In Spanish, it's Jesus. In
Okay.
Portuguese, it's Jesus.
Jesus. Yeah. There's a difference between Portuguese and Spanish.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Basically.
I couldn't tell when I went to Italy. Everybody was speaking Portuguese, Jesus, Italian, everything. All the Africans I met in Italy were speaking like 5-6 languages. I couldn't tell.
Jared says Martinelli had the ball going forward and no one went into. Yeah, I mean there is that, but I think that's the reason why. Should he have cut it back? Because there was no support there, or
he had no support. He had 4 or 5 men in front of him. He just cut the ball back. It's about ball retention. That's the system Apollo talks about. It's about ball retention. They even recycle the ball from in the box to the goalkeeper because they don't want to lose the ball.
And that's why when you do silly things like give possession away, it's like a turnover, as Cranky said. When those things drives the manager crazy. They drive the manager crazy because that's your game is.
That's why I couldn't deal with Pepe because Pepe takes risk and loses the ball.
Yeah, but when Martinelli first picked up that ball, had he just drove at the defender and gone past him, he would have had more of an opportunity to create something for himself or someone else. But he went, he slowed, and then he just ran into the corner, trotted into the corner.
So that's why coaches. Yep. That's why coaches love Saka because he utilizes his brain a lot. Yeah. He's always making the right decision.
I told you about a couple of months ago, Cranky. Saka's IQ, footballing IQ, is incredible. Doesn't get the credit.
Saka's IQ is incredible. He's a brilliant student, isn't he?
Yeah.
Good tackle by Skelly. Great ball, cross ball.
But, you know, the one person, and shout out to Emerson. I know you're in hospital and you're watching this. Emerson was the only one that was telling everybody, and I've got Gary to back me up on this. He said that Lewis Skelly is a bigger prospect than Ethan Nwaneri. And when he said that, nobody believed him. And look, everybody's looking at it now and seeing it for themselves.
I'm not going to say that. Time will tell.
Do you know what it is? I think when you play in different positions, it's easier to sometimes play in a defensive position than it is to play in a forward position.
Definitely.
Yeah.
You know, and Miles with Miles Lewis Skelly, don't forget he's a 6, right? So for him to go in the left back and come inverted is his natural game to be in the center of the pitch. And we've seen him at the under-21 level, but you could see that him and Ethan stood out a mile from all the rest. So they were.
This is what I like about us actually. So sorry, Gary. It's not like about us.
No.
Ooh.
So this time of the game is what we do. We lose the ball. We may get a little bit tired. We start dropping deeper and deeper and deeper. We give the team confidence, and they probably had a chance to score this goal a while ago. Press the feet up the field. They can't get behind our center halves. Press them higher. Don't drop that.
So Gary, when you play up front, there's certain understandings of the games, like your ability to beat a man, your dribbles. You're passing, you're crossing, and then you're pressing. So all of those comes into it. When you're a defender, you're judged very differently in terms of your clearance, your heading ability, your angles, how can you? This is where Zinchenko struggles. If a striker is running at you, you have to know your angles to cut their lane off, so that they back off. And those are the things Zinchenko struggles with. Lewis Skelly seems to understand the reaction, the mental sharpness of the angles and all of these different things.
In abundance. Trump, by the way.
Yeah. So it looked like Jesus had a fight with somebody, his girlfriend or something.
Yeah, because Lewis Skelly understands. Yeah, but Lewis Skelly understands how to play the 6.
Yeah, positioning.
So that means that when he's doing his defensive duties, that's part of the Sixes game, is to help the defense out defending. So when he gets the ball, he's comfortable because he can receive the ball in the tight spaces. He's got a great body shield, a great touch, and a great pass. So
it's a shame we haven't got Lewis here. It's a shame we haven't got Lewis here, because when you're coaching under 12s and under 11s, the most important things you should be able to do is one-on-one drills, dribbling drills, reaction and mental sharpness drills, positioning drills, obviously footwork as well, and tracking drills, blocking and interception. All those things is what. But Gary, you would be surprised if I told you the amount of under 12 coaches that are just not doing that. So sometimes I see them at the park across my road just doing passing drills, and I'm walking up to him and I'm like, bro, you're not really working these guys. You're not giving them any understanding. Like, if I run here and then cut in, how is your guy going to defend me? That's what you should be dealing with. You should be looking at positioning and movement drills, one-on-one angles. But you'd be surprised, Gary, a lot of coaches at that level are not doing it.
Well, what they're trying to
you know what? Listen, I've been coaching for 15 years, Apollo.
So hold on, Gary. Gary, hold on.
About.
Gary, hold on. Let Vincey finish off what he's saying.
The players. Go on.
Yeah,
Vincey.
Yeah, what these under 12 coaches are getting the kids to do is they've got certain metrics what they've got to hit and target from week to week, and you may be dominant on your right foot, but they're going to get them to train to be improve on the left foot, and they don't move onto the next level until they hit those targets across the metrics of areas that they need to be. So I understand what you're saying, Apollo, because it's second nature. You know, if we play playground football, you're going to develop all of those tactics, being able to be versatile in various situations. But I just think that's just the way how the structure is, that they don't put too much on these players to improve in one area. They've got to be across the board or they're not moving forward.
Yeah. Because Gary, over to you. The point of it at that age is just repetition. Yeah, that's all it is. Create as much scenarios as possible to let them understand real game situations. Because you can't ever put a real game into a practice in a scenario. You just can't do it. You just can't do it. So the repetition at that age is key.
No, it's not. But what I get from my lot in training, when I ask them to play 2-touch, 3-touch, they all hate it. And I try to explain to them that if you can play 2 or 3-touch, you can play any football. Because it's about doing stuff with the least amount of touches possible. But it is always an ongoing process.
Breaking news, people.
What's that?
The Eagles have announced that they're arresting Saquon Barkley. He's literally
so he won't break Eric Dixon's record.
Yeah,
he's literally 30 yards away from breaking Dickinson's record.
No, it's 100. It's 100, isn't it?
No.
Yeah.
No, it's 100.
The thing
it's 100 and something.
Listen, guys, the thing with that, and we talked about this last week, right? There was do you guys know what the longest standing NFL record is in the league?
Is it it's not
5 touchdowns.
Ditka.
Mike Ditka.
What, tacos?
It's the tight end record that Brock Bowers has just broken this season, right? And do you know why they're not giving any validity to it? Because Ditka did it in 14 games.
Oh, yeah, and he's in 17.
And he's in 17. So I heard Stephen A. Smith talking about this with Shannon Sharp last week, and they said if Saquon knows what's good for him, he won't beat that record, because if he does, he will never, ever, ever get the credit for it. And I actually said to Jeff Hill on our WhatsApp page, I said, if Saquon beat that in 16 games, then it would have been valid for me. But he didn't.
Yeah, but the point is, what you don't realize, or you probably do, Apollo, is Dickerson broke the record that was already set at a 15-game season. Yeah. So he took an extra game to break a record that was broken. Again, if he had 15 games, he wouldn't have broken the record.
Yeah. Yeah,
Huh?
I agree. Sorry, Cranky was going to say something.
No, I just got kicked out a while ago. I don't know what happened. That's weird,
That's
actually.
weird.
Yeah. Maybe I said something. I mean, I'll take it back. What if I said I take it back?
No, it was 2 streams. Right, guys, I'm going to do player ratings, but let me just upload what the table looks like at the moment, what we're working with right now, and then let me get rid of this. So this is what the table looks like. Gary, let me know your thoughts first, and let me work on player ratings. Oh, have I gone too big there?
Yeah,
Yes,
it's pure and simple. It's all about us just keep winning our games. We can't worry about what Liverpool or anyone else is doing. We just go out there, we play our game, and we get 3 points in the bag every time we go out. And it's that simple.
Vincey?
We've got to be in a position to take advantage if Liverpool slip.
Yeah, I'm just gonna comment here. I'm not gonna do player ratings. I think what this table shows to me is that we need to start to improve on our goal scoring, because we don't want that goal difference to get that much wider. That makes it even more tight as the running comes closer. We're still in it, guys.
We just scored 3 goals away from home at Brentford.
No, I'm just saying
grounds.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if you see the goal difference there, you don't want that going into double figures.
Do you guys want to hear the interview with Jesus?
Yeah, you can go for it. But
I'm listening to it now.
guys.
Yeah. Gary, you do that because I'm still doing player
Jesus
ratings.
and Martinelli.
You that cushion of a lead.
Yeah, I mean, I'm always expecting Liverpool guy to appeal to me to score, so I wasn't lucky in that moment. If I was just in front of me, I just controlled and tried to put it in. And yeah, very happy with the performance.
And we saw your celebration. You had an Arsenal scarf around your neck. Did that just show how important every single win feels in this title race to these Arsenal fans?
Yeah, I mean, the support that they give us is amazing. We just want to say thank you for them to come here and support us the way that they did. And yeah, we are really happy with the results.
Gabriel, 6 goals in 4 games for you. That's as many as you scored in your previous 48 Arsenal games. What's been the key to this turnaround in form?
I think keep working, everyone at the group can tell you guys how I work every day, not just me, everyone. But me personally, I don't give up, I always try. Obviously, it's not easy, to play for a big club like Arsenal. But like I said, I was playing good when I had the chance, but I was scoring, But now I think I can score, and then I could score, and then I'm very happy, and I want to keep scoring to help the team.
You've only got half a shirt left, so I'm glad you've got your jacket on. What happened there?
Yeah, that's it. That's Premier League, I don't want to talk about like fouls and stuff, but as you can see, then the ref gives a foul. I made the foul. How it's possible, but it's okay. He'll be there always to try to fight for the ball and then fight for this huge goal.
Without Saka in this team, is there a feeling amongst all of you attackers that you all need to chip in and raise your game as you try and replace his goals and creativity?
Yeah, I mean, I think no one can replace him. He's one of the best players in the world, but we know our potential and we know the team that we have. And yeah, we trust in ourselves, and we are going to try our best for the club and for the other. I'm sure he's happy with the results.
You know what it takes to win a title, Gabriel? Does this team have what it takes?
Yeah, for sure. The previous 2 years was amazing. Obviously, we didn't win the league, but we was there fighting. And then to play in this competition is already hard. Imagine to fight for the title, like you say, I've been there. But like I can see, this team is spread now, everyone is a good player, amazing player. And then I'm sure we can go there and fight for the title. But it's still early, we just need to keep trying to play well and then keep winning the game. That's it.
Well done, both of you. Congratulations on the victory to start the new year, and you are today's man of the match. Well done.
Thank you so much.
Jesus getting man of the match.
Excellent. My man of the match was slightly different from his. Guys, I'm going to let Vincey do his thoughts first. he's not going to do player ratings because he has to run. So I'm going to let him give his thoughts first. Vincey, I'm going to put my ratings up. Let's hear your thoughts on the game.
Hey, I think it's a game of two halves, really. I think definitely I want to give the respect right now to Mikel Arteta, because you can clearly see after halftime the focus and attention of how we improved on our first half performance was there, which obviously culminated in the 2 goals. And you know, it's a tough ground to go to. I thought at times we kind of rode our luck a little bit sloppy in allowing Brentford to just cut us open in some of those for them to get that first goal. Most of that came from us in attack. So, yeah, 3-1. That's what we needed to do. That's what we needed to do. And I'm pleased for Jesus. I'm pleased for Martinelli. And as I say, I think those 77 minutes for Ranieri is going to be huge. We've got a tough month ahead. Tough 2 months, but a tough month to keep us in this this title race, and also with the opportunity of the League Cup and the FA Cup as well. So it's the squad. The squad's going to have to stay fit, put a shift in, and get the results. So a great night, great way to start the new year.
Excellent. Happy New Year to you, my brother. Love to the love to the wife, and tell Claudia Dion that we're rooting for her, and we'll hopefully see her one day as well if we can.
Yeah,
get
man.
around
Blessings. Put it in stream, guys. Enjoy. Take it easy.
All right. Brilliant. Right. So let me give my player ratings first. Did we lose? No, we haven't lost. Gary. So David Raya, guys, I'm going to give him a 6.5. I thought he was wrong-footed on the opening goal, and then he had a howler with the ball going through his hands after that. So it wasn't the most stable performance from him. But his distribution, I thought, was solid. I thought it was brilliant, especially in the second half. There was 2 or 3 throws where he just completely threw the ball past the midfield and the press, and just put Brentford under complete pressure. And those are the things that you'd expect from him. Those are the things Brentford are missing in a goalkeeper. Let's just put it that way. But obviously we have to balance it up. So 6.5 out of him. Timber, I gave Timber a 6.5 as well. I don't think it was his best performance tonight. And maybe that's because of the learning curve that he has with Ranieri. Both of them didn't really shine in this game. And I think that Lewis Potter got behind him a few times too. And that helped Brighton that helped Brentford with a few attacks against us. So wasn't his best night, but still a decent performance. William Saliba, I'm going to give Saliba a 7.5. I thought he was struggled on a few earlier duels, but he just eased into a solid performance and really, really just stamped out any issues, especially on the wide left. Dealt with all of his problems. A solid performance from him. Pretty much the same with Gabriel. I thought Gabriel was slightly the better, and he gets an 8. He was the better at the 2 centre-halves. Key interventions and passes intercepted into the box. He had 4 of those today. Really good clearances and a solid performance overall. That moves me to Calafiori. I didn't think Calafiori played well at all today. I'm giving him a 6. And look, he's been out for 5 games where Lewis Skelly has started, and he just didn't look sharp at all. Gave too much space to Embreno, especially for the goal, and just looked erratic in possession. And the only reason why they didn't take him off early enough was because Miles Skelly was dealing with the bug. So just look, it's a situation where a lot of the players have gone down with this stomach bug, this new virus going around, and they had to play Calafiori. It was a non-issue for the manager. The manager didn't have a choice. He had to play a player who wasn't sharp, and it definitely showed as the performance went on. Thomas Partey, he's going to get my man of the match. Thomas Partey, 8.5 out of 10 for me. Excellent. Did everything in terms of containing Brentford in the midfield. Huge amount of recoveries for him. Tackles, his transition, the precision in his counter passing. as well. Positioning was smart. His overall influence in the game was the second to none. He also had a hand in the goal as well. Everybody's talking about we should shoot more. It was his shot that was rebounded that allowed the Jesus header to go in, and just an absolute quiet, astonishing performance. This was about as no frills as you can get. I think it was Cranky or Tony that said, if you look at the amount of effortless performance that Thomas Partey's putting in, he's not even sweating. That's how run of the mill it is for Thomas Partey. He's doing this with his eyes closed. It's like muscle memory. It's second nature to him. He's just doing what he knows works with the least amount of effort possible. It's just efficiency at its best. And not a lot of people were talking about that. They just made Jesus man of the match. They gave him his man of the match award. But what Partey did today was essential because they haven't played him there in the last few games. And he may be replacing Timber in the next game. Sorry, guys. Moreno gets a 7 for me. Solid display. And hopefully inspires him moving forward. So good in possession. So good in possession. Just not playing enough at the moment. Odegaard gets a 6.5. Not his best game. He did improve in the second half. But yeah, I think that he was also ailing as well. But the imagination from his game, some of the balls he played. I mean, I could mention 3-4 passes that he played in the second half. 2 to Martinelli out on the left, 1 through to Wanyeri, and another one to Marino, which he should have got the ball and cut inside. Could have, on another day, Odegaard gets 3 or 4 assists today. And then Wanyeri. Wanyeri today, guys, I'm going to give him a 7. Don't be fooled by the performance, guys. Struggled in terms of the end impact, but his overall performance was calm. He was wreaking havoc. He was dangerous. Really excited to see from this young talent. And so he just needs some consistency there. The energy was right. Everything perfect. I'm going to give Jesus a 7.5. Strikers poach a goal, which is where he should be. Sometimes I saw him drifting outside of the box. There was one time Gary said, look, Martinelli's crossed the ball into nobody in the middle. And who was standing next to Martinelli on the left? It was Jesus. So some of his old habits are creeping back in where he's not the point man. But when he's at the point, he's dangerous. If he just stays in his position as the point man, he can cause havoc. And Martinelli, I'm going to give a 7. I thought in the first half he was poor, but he grew into the game. Second half, he looked a lot more tidy. And Arteta, I'm going to give it 8. Tony, you take over. I'm done.
Thanks, Apollo. Bertram, would you mind just jumping in while I just finish off these stats?
So I just went through the stats that Tony's looking at. Just went through stats. And it's interesting when you look at the stats and the eye test, how they align actually. Because Apollo just mentioned Nwaneri, how he played or didn't play. He had similar touches to Martinelli. I think he had a 90-some% passing accuracy to Martinelli's 77%. So really interesting. The question is, how effective was he in the game? I think as a winger, but let me just start from the beginning. Let me get to Nwaneri. Raya, to me, had an interesting, challenging first half. Thought the first goal he could have done better on. He dropped one, which he had to barely just take off the line. It was a straightforward kick. I would have given Raya 5.5, actually. I don't think his distribution was great. I think it was good. Well, he had some very good ones, long to Martinelli. But I'm going to give him a 6. Instead of a 5, I'll give him a 6. But I thought he gave up one goal and almost gave up other, which was simple to me. The first goal one could debate, but it was simple. I thought Saliba was very good, by the way, because when a team offensive players are basically non-existent, it says something either about your midfield and or your defenders. And I thought that apart from the first goal where Odegaard made a bad pass, which got intercepted, which means you're then scrambling to recover. That's how the first goal was scored. And even then, I think Raya should have done better. But I thought both Saliba and Gabriel were very good. I'm going to give them an 8, even though I see SofaScore give them like a 7. I thought they were very, very good. And I thought they shut down most of the attack that came forward, especially in the first 75 minutes. We got sloppy in the last 15 minutes. I agree with Apollo about Calafiori. I think he's just coming back from injury. I thought he was okay. I think Calafiori can be overly aggressive, and sometimes that works against him. But I would say this, though, which is Mbuema, who's been very, very good all season, didn't do much in this game, which you have to say is the defensive holistically. But I thought Calafiori did a decent job on him, so I'm gonna give him a 6. But I didn't think it was terrible. But I do think he has to play much more composed if he wants to maintain a position, because Lewis Kelly's coming, even though he's much more physical than Lewis Kelly. In the midfield, Partey to me is a role. I don't know how people underrate Partey. Like, if you understand football and you watch the player play, they're not players in today's football who gets the ball and sees 6 passes and make the right one every single time. Like, he has so much time on the ball. It's like a Pirlo type player. He's not moving the quickest on the field. He creates space and time. It reminds me of somebody people won't even think about play football. I watch Ravel Morrison, who was a great talent but didn't materialize. When they get the ball, they always have time and space. Always have time and space. And if you play football, you realize that's not normal, actually. But it's normal for him. He's making look-away passes that people don't even see, that he pulls off the defender out of where he wants him to be with his eyes and make the pass someplace else. His brain is always working like a computer. Do I go left? Do I go right? Do I turn? Do I pass? Do I reposition my body? You can see his brain working, and he executes what he's thinking, which works out really well. So I'm going to give him an 8.5. I thought Merino was decent. A couple of times he got the ball in certain dangerous position, didn't take advantage of it. He did score a goal, and you get a point for scoring. So I'm going to give him a 7.5 for scoring. But if I was giving him without scoring, probably a 6.5, maybe up to a 7. I thought he played decent. Odegaard, I thought Odegaard had a good game, actually. The first goal came from his bad pass. But look, when a team is playing low block, you need somebody to create situations which are not normalized, actually, which is, how do I split the defense very acutely in a tight space to give my teammates ability to get it on goal? And look, if you're playing with Saka on that right, it's a little bit different than playing with Nwaneri, who's learning the trade. So you can move the spaces much more quicker, much more subtly, which didn't materialize in this game as much. But I thought he was decent. Problem I have with Odegaard this year is he's not scoring goals, people. He's not even getting shots on target. And you need your 10. That's why we complain about goals from open play. You need your 10 to put the ball in the net. He creates assists, but not scoring. He only has 1 goal this season. Nwaneri, I think we've been a little bit harsh on the kid. A lot of ability. Needs to probably make decisions sometime better than he does. But when you're 17 people, if I'm 17 playing Premier League, I'm just on the field. I'm not going to kill him for not necessarily making the best decisions. He has all the tools. The question is, how well does he execute? So I'm going to give him a 6.5. Martinelli, I'm going to give a 7. He did score. His decision making is not going to improve, so I might as well get over it. I heard Lee Dixon said he went to Arsenal 2 years ago, watched training. Martinelli was by far the best player on the pitch, was just unplayable. He's regressed. I heard Klopp praised him also. He's regressed. Let's hope he recaptures some of that mental aspect of the game, because he has the physical tools. He runs all day. He plays great defense. But offensively, I don't know. Yeah, mentally, I think is his game. He has the physical tools. Mentally, he has to be better. He has to know when to go, when not to go, when to pass, when not to pass. His passing accuracy in this game was 77% versus Nwaneri, who was 90-some%. Tells you a lot about Martinelli. They play in the same position, so we can't say because you're offensive, your passing is poor. It doesn't apply here. And Odegaard was in the 80s, if I'm not mistaken, maybe in the early 90s. And last but not least is Jesus. Now, how much goal Jesus has this year? 6? I think Havertz has 7. I'm just saying. And he has been playing a ton from the beginning of the year. He's getting more game time. I think for Jesus, it's about repetition. Jesus' stats says about 1 in 3. I think he has about 240-something Premier League games, 77 goals, somewhere in that region. So it's about 1 in 3, somewhere around that in terms of goals. So Jesus does have ability. Jesus can create something out of nothing. Jesus does need to think about playing in the striker's position. Stop trying to be everything to everybody. You can't go play defense and midfield and offense. Your job is to score goals. Try to play more positional football, and he will do better. So I gave Jesus an 8, and I agree with Apollo about man of the match because I think we underestimate and underappreciate our CDM in this case, and I think Partey is, to me, he's a ridiculous footballer. When he's fully fit, ridiculous footballer. If we go to the sub, well, Apollo didn't do the subs, so I won't do the subs. I'll just do Arteta. He gets an 8. And here's my view on the game just overall in 2 seconds. We played away from home against a team that's doing decent in the Premier League, against a team that our counterattacks really, really well. And we were playing at our place, it looks like, versus their place, which says a lot about this. Why I call the teams that are brilliant before. When you go play at somebody's home on New Year's Day after finish partying, and you play at their place away from home in a different environment, and you look like you're playing at home, you got to get the credit. And we gave up a first goal, and it was a walk in the park. So we could have scored more. So yeah, good game, good win. I'm happy. We scored from open play, by the way, Tony.
Love that, love that. Gary, you ready?
Yep, as always, mate. All right, so David Raya, I'm going to give him a 7. Go
on, mate. Go on. I was thinking, do I do the stats up before you go, or do I let you go and then do the stats up? But let you go.
Whichever way you want to do it, my friend. All right, so David Raya. I'm going to give David Raya a 7. I, like Bertrand, thought he should have done better with the first goal. I don't really want to see any keeper getting beat on their near post. But I think his distribution in the second half was pretty good. Got us going as quickly as possible, and there was a couple of like sort of half chances that he almost created. Bit of an up and down game for him, really. There was one that went through his gloves that should never have gone through his gloves, but he managed to get back in time to slap it off the line. So 7 for David Raya. Timber, I thought Timber had an okay game. I thought we was all at sea a little bit in the first half, but in the second half, they all kind of stepped up a level. Timber didn't really put many feet wrong in the whole game. I thought he was pretty solid, especially in the second half. So I'm going to give him a 7. Saliba, I thought in the second half, he just came into his own. You know, there was not a lot that got past him. He mopped up everything and was solid as always. So I'm going to give him an 8. Gabriel, I'm also going to give an 8. I thought, you know, again, especially in the second half, he was solid without having to do anything too special. Calafiore, I'm going to give a 5. I thought he was a bit at sea, a little bit hectic in everything that he done. But stepped up a little bit in the second half, picked up a booking, then done well not to receive another booking. Thomas Partey, I'm going to give a 9. I just thought he was imperious. Everything that he done was excellent. His control, his passing, you know, his coolness on the ball. You know, he is just unbelievable. He takes my man of the match with a 9. Mikel Merino pops up with a goal. I'm still undecided about this guy. He looks a bit too slow and ploddy, really. When Declan Rice plays, he's a bit more all action. Merino is very much. I think Merino may be better in the 6 than the 8 because he's good at winning tackles. He's good at winning aerial duels. So it was a bit of a mixed game for him today. I thought he had a couple of other chances where he could have done slightly better. But overall, good performance, come up with a goal. So a 7 for him. Odegaard struggling to recapture the form he had before the injury. But I say ankles can be funny things. It may not be fully back to normal yet. So he's struggling to shoot and stuff like that. It's a possibility, I suppose. But like Apollo mentioned, there was a good few passes where he's just pinged some balls that were just immaculate. So good to see him get some more minutes under his belt in his return to the team. And we just need him to start scoring a few goals, and then everything would be hunky-dory. So I'm going to give Odegaard a 6.5. Nwaneri, I thought Nwaneri was decent. I thought he used the ball really well. He kept hold of it. He beat people. He dragged us up the pitch, especially in the first half a couple of times. And 2 goals have come from his involvement. One was from the corner for Marino. After it takes the deflection, it falls at Marino's feet. The cross that he put in, which was headed down to Martinelli, and Martinelli scores. You know, so he's had a hand, albeit not an assist. He's had a hand in 2 of the goals out of the 3 we've scored today. So I thought, you know, he's done really well, Nwaneri. So I'm going to give him a 7.5. Jesus, I'm going to give a 7. Good striker's instinct to score the equaliser, but he just needs to be that focal point in the middle, in the 9. You don't have to come out on the wing. You don't have to drop into the 8, into the 10. Stay at the 9. That's where you're going to get your goals from. And if he does that, I think he can score. He can score a lot. I mean, there was one in the first half where he cut inside onto his right foot, and there was a big gaping hole where he could have shot. And then he done a Cruyff turn and went back the other way. That, to me, I don't understand, and I was nearly jumping out my seat. So sometimes as a striker, you've got to be selfish. You've got to take these shots on. I mean, no one cares how they go in if it takes a deflection and wrong foots the keeper. No one cares. The keeper can spill it. Someone may get a tap in, but if you're not shooting, you ain't scoring. So 6 goals in 4 games, but I don't know if you heard the stat that the commentator said to him on the pitch was that as much goals, he's already equaled his previous goal tally in his last 48, which tells you everything you need to know. But listen, he scores today, we win. So I'm going to give him a 7. Martinelli, I don't want to comment on this guy, to be honest, because he just seems to be regressing further and further away from the player he was every time he plays. Yes, he scores a goal today, and it was a good control, good finish, but he just doesn't do enough for me. At this point, we might as well just make him a left back. Might as well just make him a left back, because all he wants to do is he's good at defending, but I just don't get what he does going forward. So I'm going to give him a 6, and I thought he made the substitutions at the right time today. The only issue with the team that he picked was I would have started Rice, but we do need the rotation, so I understand that. So I'm happy with Arteta's 8. Good performance away from home against a difficult team, and we come away with the 3 points.
Fantastic stuff, Gary. Well done. Thank you. So, guys, as you know, I've got my statistics coming up. It's a couple of achievements today that I thought we'd just highlight very briefly. Let's get this one off the screen so I can see everything. Youngest player to start a Premier League game for Arsenal. Ethan now comes in 3rd on the list, just behind Theo Walcott and Cesc Fabregas. So well done to that young man. Gabriel Jesus has never lost a Premier League match in which he has scored in. This record just keeps going on. We have known about this record for years since he's joined us. But it's just amazing how this stat never gets beaten. 62 matches, 57 wins, 5 draws. So long as he scores a goal in the game. It's a crazy stat. But
Mikel Arteta, Tony.
Okay, go ahead.
Well, we won in a really difficult game against a really good opponent, and you see the record that they have here is incredible. When you go 1-0 down as well, it makes it even harder. But the team showed a lot of composure. a lot of willingness to change the game, a lot of desire to do it in the way we have to do, and navigate through difficult moments because it's going to happen.
How key was it to get those 2 goals in the second half in quick succession, the way you did, just to give you that cushion?
Yeah, we started really fast, really aggressive. We were very clinical there, and again adapting. Again today we had an injury, sickness to the team. We had to play all the players. We had Ethan making a debut in the Premier League at 17 years old in this stadium. So good.
Gabriel Jesus as well scored now 6 goals in 4 games. That's as many as he scored in his previous 48 Arsenal appearances. How key is it that you have him firing?
Yeah, it's very important. We won our front line in the best moment. Today, Martinelli scored, Mikel scored in the back of a set piece as well. So, we have to distribute the goals that we have done. If you look in the last calendar year, how many people have scored goals for us? That's our strength.
You mentioned Ethan Ranieri, just 17 years old. Any team is going to miss a player of Bukayo Saka's quality, but how well did he fill that position today?
Really good. But in training, he gave us all the right reasons. If we would have signed that player from any country, he would be playing. So he's an academy player. He needs to play because he deserves it.
You have another game before Liverpool play next. With the run that they're on, how important does every single match feel to take maximum points in?
Yeah, we can only do what is in our hands, which is to perform as best as we can and win games, and the rest is not anything to do with us.
I think you know what I might ask you next. The January transfer window is open. What are Arsenal's plans?
At the moment is to keep looking after our players, getting the best out of them, and let's see if there is an opportunity. We'll look at it, but at the moment the focus is our players, that they are really good.
And with a performance like that today from your attacking players, did the likes of Ranieri, Gabriel Jesus scoring goals now, does that show that perhaps you don't need to dip into the market in those positions?
Depends on the game, depends if we score or not, the narrative. I really like my players. I really value what we have because it's a lot of quality and a lot of commitment from all of them, and we are ready to do what we have.
Well done today, thank you.
Bye.
Mikel Arteta not committing too much on the plan for the...
There you go, Tone. Back to you, mate.
Cool, thank you, Gary. So we were talking about statistics and some game highlights. Obviously, another amazing stat today. And this is the one that I think I get a great deal of pleasure of saying, because it's first time since February 23 that we've won a Premier League game away in which we went behind for the first time in 9 games. So, games that we have gone behind in, we haven't won one since February 23. And so that shows a resilience. First half you were a bit worried, that thinking, okay, this is a very good Brentford team, very good record at home. I know they were capable of being scored against because lots of teams have scored against them, but they're still a good team. And obviously we showed a great deal of resilience in being able to come back from 1-0 down to finish off the game. Looks like Nye is going. So if you're off, Nye, good to see you. Thanks for joining us today. Happy New Year, and we'll see you again soon. Cranky, looks like you also have to go. So going to say my goodbyes to you, sir. Thank you for joining us. Last words.
Yeah, I have to do my 4:00 show. I gotta go prepare for it. But thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys. Good win, and see you probably Saturday. Take care, everyone. Happy New Year, everyone. Right. Bless up.
Take care.
See you later, Cranky. Happy New Year to you, mate.
Yeah. So back again to statistics. Where are we? So what else did I want to highlight today? So this isn't so much a highlight, but a point of reference I wanted to bring up. So we've had 2 people at least mention Thomas Partey as man of the match. Thomas Partey deserves a contract extension. More importantly, Thomas Partey is a free agent. He can sign a.
I agree 100%.
A pre-contract today. Today. Do you know how panicked I am about the fact that he can sign a pre-contract today? And also in the background, they're like, oh, you know, we're doing our business. And blah, 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 blah. But I'm sorry, Arsenal, what the hell? Give the man a contract. Tie him down. And maybe they don't want him. Maybe they're thinking, well, you know what? We got Declan Rice. We got Jorginho. We may not have to go into panic mode. But I ain't joking you. He plays at centre midfield, CDM, and he plays at right back. And it's like, you know what? How useful is this guy? That you can rely on.
Yeah, I totally agree. Totally agree with you, mate.
Multiple positions. And what he does in the middle of the park, we haven't got a player capable of doing it. I love Declan Rice. I think he's a great player. But if you think Declan Rice is going to walk in and replace Thomas Partey, I've always been of the opinion, Arsenal bought Declan Rice to be Thomas Partey's replacement. But he ain't ready. He could do a job for you, no doubt. But he ain't Thomas Partey. So this is a big thing for me. I mean, you know.
I think for me, Tony, the biggest thing about Thomas Partey was, could he stay fit? Because, sorry, excuse me, we've seen him come into the team, play 3 or 4 games and miss 10, 15 games. If he can stay fit and we can manage his workload, for me, it's a no-brainer to give him a contract extension, extra year, extra 18 months, whatever it is. Get him signed up tomorrow. I wouldn't even hesitate.
And the thing is, Gal, I've got no doubt about this. Arsenal are overplaying him. They are overplaying him. When they put him at right back,
that is always a worry, isn't it? Because of his previous injuries, you don't want him playing 90 minutes. You don't want him playing right back, running up and down, chasing people.
This is the guy that you want to say, okay, we're only going to play you at your position. Yeah. And if we need someone at right back, we'll just find somebody else. We'll bring up a kid through the under 23s. But he shouldn't be playing at right back. He should play at his position. And in a game where you're up, you rest him. And then when you get 3 games in a week, like we have coming up, you go, right, we have to manage your minutes in terms of what games you're playing and how long you play in each game. Because you just cannot afford to have this man out for any number of weeks.
Yeah,
he needs to be available for Liverpool away. He needs to be available for Chelsea away. He needs to be available for Man City at home. He needs to be available for Tottenham at home. All those big games are where you go, Thomas Partey needs to play.
It's not even when he plays at right back, what we miss in midfield is it hurts us. And I know he goes inverted. You know, I know he steps in and goes inverted, but it's not the same. It's not the same as having him there from the get-go.
Yeah. So, you know, I can't stress it enough. And I brought up some stats as well to kind of support some of my argument. These are defensive stats from today's game. And you can see most tackles, Thomas Partey. Most clearances, Gabriel Magalhaes, followed by Thomas Partey. No fouls. Obviously gets a pre-assist and a goal. This is
but how does the CDM go through the whole game without committing a single foul?
Yeah. Look at these overall touches. 73 for Thomas Partey, 70 for William Saliba, and everybody else is like 60 and less. Yeah. Pass accuracy, 83%, you know. You know, it's just, you just have to understand the importance of that player. and what he does in a game. In a game like today, where you need someone to be strong-willed and say, like, you know, I'm going to get the ball. I'm not going to panic. I'm going to find the open man. You know, where you haven't got as free a flowing football as you would love to when you've got Bukayo Saka. You need to be able to retain the ball and pass it with, you know, with confidence and find open players. And there's none better. So, you know, hey. But let's have a look at these statistics here. David Raya, 50% pass accuracy. Jurriën Timber, 56 touches. Just slightly higher than Ricardo Calafiori. Calafiori had one shot. Both had one key pass. Calafiori was a aerial animal today. Look, 6 aerial duels won. What else can we highlight from there? If you see anything, Gary, that you think needs to be talked about, then just let me know.
I was quite surprised about the Calafiori 6 aerial duels one. But
Shots.
no, I mean, to me, it's pretty standard stuff. You know, this is what the team should be doing. I think with the Mikel Merino, he's had 2 shots, scored one, but the stat there is that he hasn't made a key pass, which stands out a bit to me, and nor has Thomas Partey. So from your midfielders, you want these key passes to be going in to feed your forwards. So that's
but you know what Thomas Partey is about, and you know he does that pre-key pass. Do you know what I mean? And you can see it.
The key pass before
so
the key
often,
pass.
Yeah, he so often is doing that key pass, and for that reason, I don't worry about him not doing the key pass. I'm more worried about Mikel Merino not getting that key pass, because he should be. He's playing more advanced in the pitch, so he should be looking for that key ball more often than not. And maybe he's just not finding enough of Gabriel Martinelli, who today was the highest number of shots with 4, only 1 on target. He himself had 4 key passes. So, in you know, as much as we could deride Martinelli's contribution today, he had 4 key passes. His goal was a very good take. I thought it was a very good goal that he took. This is the interesting thing, with Martinelli, I was looking up for some of his stats for today's game, and for some reason, somebody on X, Twitter, has put Gabriel Martinelli today and used footage of Ronaldo R9 phenomena, and I just sort of I took it back when I saw it, and I was like, if only. If only.
Yeah, it'd be nice. But that's what he looked like, that type of player 2 seasons ago, didn't he?
And that's the thing, isn't it, Gary? It's like, I look at R9 and I go, is there a more accomplished player at running at a defender and just beating him for pace and using that Brazilian step over to wrong foot a player and put yourself in a position where you can get a shot off on goal and score? It just doesn't get any better. I mean, I love Messi, I love Ronaldo, I love Ronaldinho, but actually R9 is that guy where you go, if you're a striker and you allude to being a striker, and obviously, you know, we were blessed to have Thierry Henry, but R9 is just the definition.
Yeah, he was just different class. Power, pace, finishing, trickery, the whole lot.
The whole thing. And it's just like, you know, someone please send that video to Martinelli and just say, look, just learn a couple of his moves. You know, I literally saw pictures of him playing, you know, 4 defenders and beating all 4 of them. And you're like, what the hell? And that's in World Cup games for Brazil against, you know, really good international teams with world-class defenders. And you're like, no one can stop him. He gets the ball and he's like, I'm going. And when he says, I'm going, I'm going. None shall pass me. You know what I mean?
So
Anyway,
maybe it's the actual team system that's hurting Martinelli's game, because he has to be more disciplined, and maybe that's what's causing it.
I don't know if that is the case, because who would tell a player to run into a dark alley because that's what he does. You've got to change something in your game. If I'm your coach and I go, right, let's look at your last performance. Yeah, how many times did you run past your man? How many times did you get yourself in key positions where you could deliver a ball? You know, how many key passes do you have? So actually, when I look at it, today's stats, he can actually go, yeah, decent. 4 shots, a goal from 1 shot on target, and 4 key passes. I'll take that. I'll take that. But that's not his consistency level, is it? And that's the problem. You know, if we have that every game, we'll probably end up with a guy who scores 10 to 15 goals.
You need him to be in double figures for goals, don't you? At least.
Exactly.
You know, at least 10. That's the bare minimum.
Yeah. So
I mean, for me, there was one point in that second half. Sorry, Ty. There was one point in that second half where he had the ball and he was running. He had the defender in front of him, and one, I think, was just to the side of the one he was running at. And you're just saying to yourself, you've got pace, back yourself, just get up to him, square him up, knock the ball past him, go after it, and then you're in on goal. And then it's, can the other guy catch you, or do they have to foul you? And he did none of that. And he kind of slowed down and then just kind of run the ball into the corner flag instead of like turning. If you're not going to do that, all right, turn back and we keep possession. You're not losing possession. And I just don't understand that aspect.
I mean, you mustn't lose possession. Get a throw in, get a corner, but don't lose possession.
You know, that was the only bewilderment for me. But it's just so frustrating.
Yeah, it is.
When you see how he was and how he is now, it just makes no sense.
So let's have a look at some of the other stats from today. 14 shots concluded the game with against 5. 5 shots on target against 2. 4 off target, 5 blocked. As I said during the game, you know, look, there were points where we were 4 players in the box against 7 or 8 defenders in the box. That's always going to be hard to break down. And that is where, to me, you just need shooters from outside the box, people who can, you know, put a ball over a defensive player, find half a yard, you know, curl a ball around and find a top bin or something. And the only one that tried it was Thomas Partey, and obviously the reward came from it.
It led to a goal. If you say if you don't shoot, you're never going to score a goal.
Yeah, interesting. I think at half time these statistics were so heavily skewed in Arsenal's favour. It showed that actually Brentford did come back into the game quite strongly, so they actually outpassed us by the odd 9 goals, nine passes, accurate passes, a few more than us, way more backwards passes, similar on forward passes, total long balls. Obviously, you can see that Arsenal a lot of short balls because we only played 38 long balls. Is that something we're missing? A long ball threat, somebody like remember back in the day we used to have David Luiz used to be able to ping a ball out from.
Yeah, I think it's an aspect. We saw it from Kivior, didn't we, in a couple of games? Playing that when you've got space in behind, you have to knock that ball over the top and get your Martinellis and your Sakas or whoever's playing there after it. You know, you can't just all be short and nice. Sometimes you've got to do. I mean, Liverpool do it all the time. And if it was Arsenal, we'd be getting called Wimbledon.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? But Liverpool do it. I was watching Liverpool the other day, and all I saw was bang, bang, bang. These long balls every single time.
Yeah, and the thing is, Mo Salah and on the opposite side, Cody Gakpo or Luis Diaz, they always seem to be hovering into that space to go, I want that deep
because
ball.
they know that's where the ball's going to come.
Yeah,
they know that as soon as Trent gets on the ball or Van Dijk, they're just going to knock the ball long over the top and get them chasing it.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, that's a tactic which obviously Arteta refuses to get too much into. That Liverpool obviously make a great deal of profit from using the ball in that way for a long time. Last set of stats I think I've got here: total tackles 16 by Arsenal, 10 by Brentford, 8-1 against 7, 8 fouls to 6, and 2 yellow cards. Obviously, big thing is we now lose Jurriën Timber for the away game, the next game against Brighton. So it means a reshuffle again. Does that mean we're now going to see Thomas Partey playing right back? I mean, I'm gutted that we ain't got Ben White. I'm actually missing Ben White. I'll be honest with you. I miss Ben White.
He'll be back in another 4 to 5 weeks, won't he? February time.
Yeah. I just wish we still, it could be around because, I just think there's times in a game when you go like, you know what, do a shifty, put Ben White in the right back. He makes our defense a lot more flexible when he's about. You could put him at right back, you could put Timber at left back. So interesting.
But this is part of having the squad. You have to have the squad to cope with these things. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If suspensions come along and you shuffle the pack for one game and then he's back, and then after that Brighton game, all the yellow cards go to 10, don't they?
So possession 50% each. Lots of touches in the opposition box, which we talked about. So that's our stats for the game. In terms of my own ratings, I'll bring up Apollo's again. I'll go Raya 7. Despite that little blip, I thought he was very assured in pretty much every other aspect of his game. I thought his distribution was excellent today. So I'll give him a 7. I'll give Timber a 7. I'll give Saliba a 7.5. I'll give Gabriel a 7.5. I'll give Calafiori 6.5. Give Partey a 9. Give Marino a 7. Give Odegaard a 7. Give Nwaneri a 7. Give Gabriel Jesus an 8. Give Martinelli a 7. And that is my ratings. I'll give Arteta an 8. Yeah. Thought overall, good performance. Very dominant against a very good team in their home stadium. Scored good goals, scored from open play, scored from set pieces. I'm overall quite happy. Little bit worried now, I got to be honest. We are now in the transfer window. I expect Arsenal to do some business. We need business to be done. Today, our bench showed we are lacking. And I know it's, and it would be nice to say, we got a load of players injured and when they all come back, blah, blah, blah. But sorry, if we're going to maintain a challenge, we got a load of big games in January and we need a player. We could probably do with two.
I think we need a couple, mate.
Yeah.
Not just one. I think we need 2.
Yeah. I think we could probably survive with one because I think defensively we're all right. I think it's in midfield that we probably need the other player. But without a doubt, for me, if you get a player who can play across the front, like at Isak, then you probably got enough cover with Trossard, Martinelli, Jesus, and Nwaneri. But yeah, I would definitely be interested to see where Arsenal go in the next couple.
And if we're going to do something, I want us to do it quick. I want us to to get it over and done with as quick as possible and get them into the team.
The last day of January, we could be out of 3 competitions, out of 3 competitions, because we could be out of.
But we've seen it happen so many times, haven't we? Coming into February, and then all of a sudden you're out of the Champions League, you're out of this, you're out of that.
Yeah.
And it's
I
just
think
like
we're safe in the Champions League. I think we'll get the results we need because our 2 games remaining are not that difficult. The one that we could easily be out of the FA Cup. We could easily be out of the Carabao Cup, and then it's the league because you still have to win your league games. You can't afford to drop a game now.
Well, I did say previously, didn't I? We know now's the time when you've got to go on a run of 10 to 15 games, winning most of them.
Yeah.
You know, you can't afford to keep dropping points. I know it's hard to go to some teams, but Brentford was hard today, but we pulled it out the act with a good 3-1 dominant victory. You know, you just have to keep going, and we have to keep finding a way to win.
Yeah.
And the more strings you have to your bow, the easier that is.
Yeah. And, you know, look, some of these players are going to be absolutely mashed up by the end of this month if we don't have the numbers. That's a fact. You know, you look at the next couple of games, you're like, right, how do we cover the right back? Who do we bring in to give minutes to, you know what I mean, the likes of players like Partey, who's played a full 90 today? You know, does he just go into, you know, 3 days from now playing another 90 and then 3 days after play another 90? No. You need to cover obviously.
You can't work like it. Can't work like that. You need to get Marino into the 6 or right into the 6.
Yeah.
And give Partey 45 minutes off at least.
Yeah. And obviously, as Apollo was alluded to, we had that norovirus going around. So, yeah, you know, it's good to know that we've got those things going on. But, yeah, it's going to be tough. Gary, any last words before we close down?
No, happy with the 3 points, happy with the performance, happy with Ethan and Wary getting some valuable minutes. Up the Arsenal. Come on, you Gunners.
Come on, you Gunners. Gary, have a great week. I'll see you on possibly
you too, sir.
The next one. Take care, guys.
Yeah.
Thanks for joining
See you
us.
later, mate. See you later, guys. Bye,
Bye, everyone.